As far as our local points go, that is where we won't necessarily have that. Going to throw it down to James Pike, who's down there ready to get this show on the road.
Race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome the general manager of Thunder Road Harley-Davidson, J.R. Retzlaff.
Drivers, start your engines.
Woo, it is time to get this party started. The 18th running of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Here at South Boston, Virginia. I'm Doc Love, your resident motorhead. Co-pilot for this flight is Ken Childs. You know, between us, we've got 100 years covering late models over the years. And it's an honor to be up here in the booth calling this race with you, Ken. Man, I'm excited. This is a tough, highly competitive field. I think the tires are an equalizer. There's no really home track advantage. Even though our home track guy got the pole, so you got to be proud of our home track guys.
You know, the tire, I was talking with Peyton Sellers about this ahead of time, and effectively our local guys have 5-6 races worth of notes now with this new tire. It's not much different than someone coming in that comes in once a year.
Right.
Comes in, tries things out, whatever. Everyone's on a much more even footing.
Yep.
You take that, you take the fact that right now late model stock racing is as tight as it has ever been. These cars are so close. These drivers are so close. It is a recipe for some great racing, as we've seen all season. We have not had a stinker of a late model stock race this season.
None at all.
So it's gonna be a show. And you know we've seen guys like Kyle Dudley, who did not anticipate running a full season with us here until he came out here and Kyle Dudley's not a slouch. He has been fast at a lot of tracks.
Yeah, he was fast here last year.
Right.
Was racing for, inside the top 5, got caught up in that big melee in turns 3 and 4.
But you get a guy like Kyle Dudley that's not been traditionally a South Boston guy.
To race every year, every race,
and
correct.
He's come in this season and put on a show, and the only reason he's back in the points now is because he took a week in Santorini, which I don't blame him. It's beautiful out there. So, you see the guy's pit crew truck out there flying the giant American flag. That is a Perkins restaurant level of American flag right there, size-wise.
America, that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
I thank God's pit crew for providing that.
Yes.
That American flag, that giant truck. God's pit crew does a lot of great work, providing food, shelter, and stuff like that.
All over the country.
All over the company. Going to take a look at our starting lineup here. As we've already been over here today, Jessica Can is starting on the effectively by herself. She's going to have Eric Winslow starting there with her. Row number 15, Brian Thomas, Raymond Pittman. Row number 14 will be Jason Myers and Stacy Purrier on the outside and inside, respectively. Row number 13, Matt Waltz, GR Waldrop. Jersey Mike is really to call him.
That's right.
Just ahead of them, Connor Hall, Timothy Peters. And you see some of these guys you expect to be qualifying much farther up, and they're back there. Camden Gully, Andrew Grady, two guys that know their way around really well. What do you got, James Pike?
One last little bit before we go green flag racing, Ken and Doc. I think as we talk about this weekend and we've looked at how things have progressed, I keep coming back to what Peyton Sellers said in practice yesterday, that it's not just the fact that the ST2 and the fact that we haven't run it in the Virginia Triple Crown is a great equalizer. It's the fact that nobody's run a race with the ST2 in South Boston with this many cars on the racetrack. This track takes rubber differently because the tire rubbers up the track differently, and that is why that tire is such an equalizer. That is why we are in for so many variables. That is why this 18th edition of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200 is going to be one to watch. And if you are tuning in on FloRacing, I'd say for the next few hours, you're in a pretty good seat for the start of the 2024 Virginia Triple Crown.
And to build on what James Pike just said right there as well, we haven't run this tire for this long on this track. We've gone as much as 150 laps. We do not have a 200-lap race yet on this tire at this track. And, man, look at the crowd all the way around this track. We talk about the fact that you can come to South Boston Speedway, bring your folding chair, bring your beach chair, bring your
grill.
Park your truck, bring the grill, do whatever, and you can come out here and sit anywhere you want. And sometimes it makes the grandstands look a little empty because you can come here and really choose your own adventure. And, man, I'll tell you what, everyone chose all the adventures, and this place is packed. Fantastic work, by the way, on the graphics right there.
Beautiful work.
So we're going to see Kyle Dudley and Caden Honeycutt lead this field to the line, and there is a venerable hornet's nest behind them of guys that feel like they should be up front. And I feel like we're going to be patient for a little while. I want us to be patient for a little while. But as you know, it takes one guy to just decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and lead a lap here, where you don't necessarily feel like you can lead a lap.
Caden Honeycutt has one start. He started 2022, finished 7th in this race. Kyle Dudley has made 2 starts. His best finish was 8th in 2022. 2021 was when Caden Honeycutt finished 7th. 2022, Kyle Dudley finished 8th, finished 22nd after getting in an incident last year, as we talked about. But he did great performance. He was looking strong inside, racing towards the top 5. So your front row, just a couple of starts, but the performance has been pretty doggone good for the front row.
But then right behind them, you got Brendan Queen, Bobby McCarty, 2 guys that know this track real well, have raced this track real well. So many of these guys have been just so good out there. You see Mason Bailey, Chase Burrow, on the other hand, not a lot of starts here. But then Carter Langley, Peyton Sellers, multiple championships won here at the track. Trevor Ward has a ton of races out here. Tate Fogelman's in a car that has won this season.
And set the fast time so far for our weekly racing shows.
Deacon McCaskill knows his way around here.
The governor.
Blake Stallings has a win here. You don't get all the way. So I guess Chase Burrow, Mason Bailey, Isabella Robusto, and to an extent Logan Clark are the 4 drivers in the top 15 that don't necessarily have the laps and the racing experience at South Boston. A bunch of these people do. What that should lead to is some good, hard, clean racing, at least for the first 50 laps. We'll see what happens from there, because we're racing to $250 courtesy of Gutter Works at the end of this first stage. Cars will be able to pit at that point if they want. They'll have to go to the rear. The halfway caution flag. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? It is all sorts of 4th of July up in here, huh, Doc?
It is all about America. That's how we celebrate. We blow up stuff. And we have a pyro budget here at South Boston Speedway, and we spend it.
Absolutely. So that one year we had the sparklers. Hi, Chase. Getting ready to go green, folks. Race fans, get on your feet if you're here at South Boston Speedway. If you're watching live on FloRacing, get on your feet anyway. If you got to take a picture, send it to us. If you're on your feet.
Yes.
Getting ready to go racing. 32 of the best late model stock drivers in the country right here at South Boston Speedway, the first leg of the Virginia Triple Crown. We are ready to go racing. It'll be Kyle Dudley and Caden Honeycutt leading the field to the green flag. The Danville Toyota pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Kyle Dudley, Caden Honeycutt coming off of turn number 4. Green flag in hand, green flag in the air, and the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200 is underway here at South Boston Speedway.
Pretty clean start through the field. Nobody missing gears and all that good stuff. So it is a good start for the entire field. Caden Honeycutt a little loosey-goosey coming off of turn 2. Coming around for lap number 1. Caden Honeycutt a little bit of momentum, but Kyle Dudley will get credited for leading lap number 1.
Kyle Dudley led that by all of 11 1/1000ths of a second as a little bit of smoke comes in from the fireworks over here. It is stacked and packed. Way back there. It is Kyle Dudley out front by just a nose. No, sorry, Caden Honeycutt by 4 1/1000ths of a second leads lap number 2 as the field packs up behind him. Bobby McCarty up to 3rd. Here comes Brendan Queen behind him. Chase Burrow, Peyton Sellers all right there as well as we race side by side for the lead as they come off of turn number 4. Caden Honeycutt gets the advantage into turn 1.
There he goes. He'll go to the high side. Remember, you know, the old-time fans here, the long-time fans, they getting angry, said, oh, this racing ain't as good because they don't use the high side. Well, those fans are coming back to us because they are using the high side, as we'll see throughout this event. The top lane, top shelf is going to come into play in today's running of the 18th Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200 as we starting to get heated up at the front of the field. Caden Honeycutt continues to lead.
Eric Winslow is pulled off the track. He is done for the night, and the number 22 Roofmasters car will be credited with 32nd place. Caden Honeycutt continues to lead. Kyle Dudley second. back right behind them right now. You see it. I mean,
There's a gaggle right there.
close your eyes, open them up. Whatever you're looking at, there's going to be side-by-side racing just about all the way around the track right now. You see Caden Honeycutt's got the advantage over Kyle Dudley right behind them. And we're almost 3 wide back midway through the pack here. But you see the battle for the lead. Kyle Dudley trying to get by Caden Honeycutt. Gets all the way down there. And that is something Kyle Dudley's been able to do this season. Make that apron work in a way that a lot of people have not been able to.
You got to have
the car all the way down there.
You got to have your car to be able to rotate and not bound up. And that's what some of these guys are struggling. But Kyle Dudley has been able to make it work. And he's able to stay right there in the tire tracks of Caden Honeycutt. Caden originally out of Texas, living in Denver, North Carolina now.
Hi, Matt McCall.
Hi, Matt McCall. That's his hometown. And Danny McCall, his dad. Hope they're doing well.
And we are stacked up here all behind. Caden Honeycutt, Kyle Dudley have pulled away from the field just a little bit. Bobby McCarty, Brendan Queen battling for third. Brendan Queen to the inside of Bobby McCarty as they race down the backstretch. Brendan Queen dives into the turn 3. McCarty right there, though. McCarty's going to get the run off the high side. He holds on. Caution on the backstretch. Can't quite see from here who that is. It may be GR Waldrop. Nope, GR's up coming off of turn 4.
Andrew Grady.
Andrew Grady, and it looks like possibly Camden Gully as they've come to a stop on the backstretch. You see some damage on the front there to Camden Gully's machine.
Safety crew right there. We have the very best in the business. So proud of our safety crew. We brought in extras to make sure we take care of things if need be. And our safety crew's right there with them.
Jacob Borse involved as well.
Oh, has he got some damage?
Jacob Borse coming off of turn number 4 here on the pit road, and he's got a bunch of front-end damage right there.
Oh, wow. Hopefully we have a replay to see what took place there. Oh, wow.
Ton of damage there. James Pike, what do you see?
10 here, Jacob Borspit, a lot of damage to the right front of the number 25 Gutterworks Chevrolet crew, taking off the hood pins, trying to diagnose it. A little bit of damage to the radiator opening, the grill down at the bottom. They're going to have to get that cleaned up, probably going to take off the grill up front, and then they're going to have to cut a path open to the radiator just so that this engine can get a little bit of air. It's pretty blocked up for the most part, so there's work to be done here. There's a little bit of time to work with under yellow, but certainly going to be a busy few minutes here for Jacob Borst and the number 25 team.
And good news, though, if there is any, there's no water, underneath it. So hopefully, all they need to do is clear some sheet metal and the front end away from it and get some air to it, keep it cool, but they can continue running. So this would be devastating to his championship hopes for 2024 if he's not able to continue.
You're going to see him pull off the pit road here in just a moment, I believe. Unless they're calling it a night. We'll see.
Oh, they're backing up. Looks like they're going to go behind the wall there.
So caution flag laps do count in this race. The first race of the season when they do count. The only times they will not count at the end of each stage,
right,
and then the last 10 laps to go. You see Raymond Pittman rolling on a pit road as well as we continue to work on the Andrew Grady and Camden Gully machines on the backstretch. It's going to give some folks some time to get on the pit road. So caution flag laps do count. So you get into pit road, you got to get your work, you got to get back out there if you're gonna. Otherwise, your other option right now, work on a car, get it back out there, hope for a big wreck,
right,
and hope you can pick off a few spots from there.
Yeah.
You see, Stacy Purrier's been on and off pit road at least once. He had some damage from that as well.
Wow, that's more damage than we thought on Camden Gully. It looks like that front end's really smashed in.
Really in there. Driving the Infinity Communications Shooters Nightclub Ford. You hate to see that. Camden Gully hasn't raced with us this season. He's had a very successful year down in Orange County.
Yes, got a couple of wins, and in the title chase there down there. So third generation racer. So glad to see him having success. Still under yellow. Let's go down trackside to James Pike.
Jacob Borst here with me. Jacob, what did you see from your perspective on the backstretch that ultimately put you out tonight?
Yeah, we were rolling that outside really good. That's the best with car I probably had on that outside, but they would have kept rolling up through there, and just two people being really impatient at the beginning of the race that cost us a lot. So just people being a little bit too impatient for a long race. But I hate it for my guys. They've worked their butts off the last 2 days, and we finally got the car to where it needed to be. I feel like for this race, it was on a roll. So we'll try to get it back together and come out next time and try to get a win.
Doc and Ken, we talk about the luck factor here at South Boston. Sometimes you need a little bit of it tonight. Jacob Borst did not. Very different from the 2 years ago finish here where he was sideways and runner-up. Tonight, early exit for Jacob Borst.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Jacob Borst got him a victory a couple of weeks ago and has led 59 laps so far, 7 top 10s in the 8 starts so far this year. This is going to be devastating to his championship title chase in 2024, but they'll come back stronger than ever.
Richard, it's one of those deals. It's a tough racing deal. Again, the good news, if there's going to be any, is that with the way that the points are shaking out in this race, he's not going to lose so many points to everybody.
Right.
He's going to lose. I mean, he'll lose. I haven't counted exactly how many people get points in this one. It'll be about 15 or so.
I'm getting ready to count them.
Yeah, so he's gonna lose a handful.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. But he's not going to take quite the beating that he would have otherwise. As we continue to try to get Andrew Grady's car peeled off the wall back there as well. The good news is what we're not seeing a lot of is people out there with sand and brooms and all that. So the bent up race cars over there are not really causing anything where we're going to have a long, lengthy cleanup. Once we get these guys off here, everyone's probably about in the order they need to be. We'll get racing again here real soon. Racing to the first scheduled caution flag of lap 50. And with that, you will receive 14 cars is what I'm being told here from Doc that are out here for track points.
Yeah, but all cars will get national points.
Correct. Yes. So we're 150 laps. 50 lap stop will be for Gutter Works. Lap 100, the halfway point. That is when everyone can come onto pit road and everything. That is presented by Sparks Oil in Sunoco. $500 for that, and the Stage 3 winner, Southside Disposal, $250. That will be on lap 150. All of those caution flags, when we come back out, the caution flag laps do not count, so you're not losing laps with guys just rolling around. We're anticipating those first, after all these caution flags at 50, 100, and 150, we're anticipating about 4 to 5 caution laps.
Yeah.
But again, those laps will not count toward the overall total. And then just like they do up the road at Martinsville Speedway, the last 10 laps of the race, caution flag laps do not count.
During that halfway break when they get to go to the pits, I'm sure they'll fuel up because I think it's we'll keep going until we get those laps in to go to the end. So if we have to run a bunch of caution laps for a major cleanup, fuel might come into a factor. So I'm sure someone will take some fuel. But, if you don't want to fill it up because if they're working to get the car on a certain balance, certain part of the race, too much fuel will upset that balance.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on with these guys as far as how they work all this and all that, as far as what they want in their car. And the thing about it is you can come in at that 1/3 or 1/4 way break there at lap 50. You can come in. You can't take tires, but you can get all the, do your other work you want on the car, but you have to you'll restart at the rear of the field.
Right.
You won't lose a lap if you're working on the car for the 2 or 3 laps or whatever it is, but you will have to go to the rear. And when you've got 29, 30 cars on the track still, you're going to have a bad time from back there. So I don't know. J.R. Waldrop rolling around. Thought he may have been involved in something earlier, but it looks like he's just coming on a pit road right now, right behind Jacob Borst.
And we haven't mentioned this is a choose race, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all choose races here.
Yeah. Well, not all late model. There's a good view of folks making their choice. Some tracks, only do choose racing on special events, so forth. There we go. We got a backup if we need extra flagman.
Doc, have your race here as a special event.
Yeah, well, you are correct, sir. Yes, sir. Great shot of the crowd there. Fans having a great time here at South Boston Speedway. Fun for the entire families. We won to go and to stripe. Caden Honeycutt will be in control. Now, at the beginning, the very first start of the race, the flagman, or our special guest flag person, was in charge of getting things started. So this restart, and therefore after, whoever was first at the caution will be in control of the restart inside the Southside Disposal restart zone. Can't go before. Sometimes it's a judgment call, and sometimes there's some tomfoolery going on.
They're going to come to the Southside Disposal restart zone. You see Eric Winslow rejoining the field here. As expected, Danville Toyota pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Caden Honeycutt, Kyle Dudley will come to the South Side Disposal restart zone. It is up to Caden Honeycutt when he would like to go. And it looks like what he's going to like to do is right now get going. Kyle Dudley to the inside.
Dudley
didn't quite go and got a kick in the pants by Brendan Queen. Butterbean right on the tail of him. That's going to let Caden Honeycutt pull away. Side-by-side battle for second. Bobby McCarty on the high side. Kyle Dudley to the inside. And the whole field is stacked up behind those two guys right now as Caden Honeycutt runs away into turn one.
couldn't tell if he just spun his tires. You didn't hear it over rev, so I don't think it was a missed gear type situation. But the contact there with Brendan Butterbean Queen, he did make contact but did not smash the nose in as Bobby McCarty goes up the track. Might have a tire going down. There's some kind of mechanical issue.
McCarty got bumped and went right up the track and did a great job saving it. However, there's only so many places you can put a race car on the track right now. And what that causes is almost like we saw in our Hornet race.
Yeah.
Which, you love to compare the late models to the Hornets, so here we go.
Every day.
Just like the Hornet race, someone got backed up, kind of spread the field out a little bit. Now here we go. Trouble down the backstretch. It looks to be...
It's Mason Bailey.
Yeah, Mason Bailey.
Yep, I saw him. He went way high in turns 1 and 2. Thought he was going to have
in that same spot we've seen before, where they get just out of the groove, drift up the track, and almost tap that wall. Right on the exit of turn 2 there, the wall isn't straight right away. It comes in, and that's where cars and haulers and everything come in. And he went up there and just caught it just a little and had to back way out of it, and that just cost him a whole handful of spots.
Chase Burrow got into him just a little bit when he was coming down. Let's go down to James Pike.
Down with Andrew Grady. Andrew, what did you see from behind the wheel? Could you have done anything to avoid that?
Guys just not giving any room, squeezing each other. I know we got to go. We're in the back, and you got to make everything you can up, but it's 200 laps. There's no reason to squeeze a man in a fence like that, especially here. It's so narrow. You've got nowhere to go. So car's killed. We'll fix it, and we'll be ready for Caraway Wednesday.
Cam Ngole, what did you see from behind the wheel, and could you have done?
I mean, not really. I had position on Cade, the 23. I'm not really sure what he was doing. He kind of ran me all the way down to the apron and really gave me that room there, and we hit wheels and knocked a wheel out of my hand, and by that time we had already hit the wall. Then we had a pretty good car. It just sucks that, we're racing like that. This early on, I know, he's got a lot of experience, and I thought he'd race me a little cleaner than that, but, it killed our front clip, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do about that, but we'll take it back to the shop and see if we can get it fixed up.
Early casualties at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, Dr. Ken.
Man, I hate to see that for Camden Gully. Sharp young man, did some racing with us full-time last year and really coming to his own at Orange County, just down the road. Got him a couple victories there, so hate to see him out, and Andrew Grady, who showed a lot of promise and speed in practice throughout the day yesterday and today. But just kind of, like we saw in the open, how James explained and showed how that wall, it's almost like you come out and have to turn left a little extra, get down the back straightaway. Plus, you got banking over there, so that really upsets the car as you exit turn number 2 as well.
Yeah, you just get a little too high up there, and it'll not necessarily always snap you around, but it's going to cause you to get a little loose. And then, trouble off turn number 2, down the backstretch. Isabella Robusto goes around. Bobby McCarty up by the wall. Caution flag flies. Second time tonight on lap number 33. Isabella Robusto comes to a stop right by the entrance of turn number 3. Bobby McCarty continues on, but has come to just about a stop, and he's going to try to get down on the pit road here. And he will get down on the pit road. Right front tire looks to be down on Bobby McCarty's machine as he comes limping down the front stretch. Not sure which came first, the contact with Isabella Robusto or the right front tire going down. But McCarty comes to his stop right behind where it says NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series on the wall, immediately to his crew. James Pike, I see you hustling on over to the 6 team. What do you see?
Crew working on the right side of the car right now, putting it up on jacks, just trying to assess the damage more than anything else. I think you think back to what Grady just said, what Gully just said. They're 200 laps here, and even if you get a little bit of damage early, there's an opportunity to repair your car and find a way to get back to the front. We've seen that plenty of times in this race throughout the years. So Bobby McCarty's crew now going under the hood, looking at the right front suspension to try and diagnose the damage and figure out what they need to do to fix the number 6 car.
James Pike sounding a little bit out of breath there. My man was hustling. Love to hear it. Isabella Robusto has gotten going again. She got that car turned around on her own. It looks like there might be some damage on the left front, but the car does not look too bad, given it came to a stop down there on the inside of the turn number 3 wall. And a lot of times when you see that, you see someone get turned around there, they're, like they said in that last interview, they're long for, whole bunch of damage on the Kyle Waltz machine. Sorry, on the Matt Waltz machine, as well as the Tate Fogelman machine there.
No, they must have did domino effect.
And best way to fix the car, just take the hood right off and off you go.
Yep.
Matt Waltz gets going again, no problem there. Fogelman still on pit road. Also coming down pit road is Isabella Robusto. The car, the wheels look to be rolling okay. What do you see?
2 extra things. One, I saw Marcus Richmond just slam the pit box here in frustration, so he's clearly not happy. Meanwhile, they were able to get the right front diagnosed a little bit. They're going to try and send McCarty out just to make sure he doesn't lose any more laps and make sure he stays as close to the lead lap as possible. But this looks like a situation that it's going to take a few runs to fix, and they may have to come down back pit road a little bit more just to figure out exactly what the issue is with Bobby McCarty's car.
Isabella Robusto down on pit road, getting right side tires. It looks like both of those tires may be used up from that incident before, so they're going to put right sides on that number 55 machine and get her going again. A lot of action on pit road so far this evening. James Pike getting his money's worth out of it this morning, or this evening. Here comes Tate Fogelman off of pit road. They've got that car kind of hammered back in place or whatever. McCarty back on and off pit road, get a couple things checked out there. And it looks like everyone that came on except Isabella Robusto is back off pit road. Robusto, they're trying to get back out there, but there may be some more right front damage to that. They've got the wheel off and they're all peering inside, which is never a good sign. Doc, one to go this time by.
Man, that was all kinds of action all over the track. Bobby McCarty unofficially lost a couple of laps during that exchange, so if he can get back up to speed, get a couple of more cautions, get some lucky dog action, he'll be right back in there. Yeah, so man, that's a lot of ifs and ands, and you know the rest.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a long race, and we got a lot of.
It's early. It's early. 163 laps to go. Ken, bring us to the green.
DeAmerica Toyota pace cars making its way through turns 3 and 4. Once again, Caden Honeycutt and Kyle Dudley are going to come to the line. We'll see if Kyle Dudley's got a little more for him on this restart. Big kick in the pants by Butterbean Queen last time. Green flag back in the air. A much better restart this time by Kyle Dudley. Hangs right there with Caden Honeycutt as they go into turn number 1. They come off of turn number 2. Butterbean King looks to the inside there. Doesn't quite have anything. Peyton Sellers on the high side. Here comes Peyton Sellers in tow. Carter Langley. Those two are going to try to make the high side work. Caden Honeycutt leads, but there is an onslaught of cars a-coming.
Freight trains are rolling. Battle for the lead. Battle for the lead. Caden Honeycutt. Oh, the 15 of Logan Clark looked like he's got some heavy damage to his nose. Looked like they stacked him up again. And he'll slow down. He'll keep trying to go. I don't know if he's going to try to hit pit road here. No, he's going too fast. No yellow, still green. On the left side was Logan Clark. You see the battle for the lead still continues. Caden Honeycutt fins off Kyle Dudley. So Peyton Sellers right there cruising in third.
Yeah, you see the shot back there. It is stacked and packed with Trevor Ward, Mason Bailey, Mike Looney, Landon Pemberton, Chase Burrow, Caden Brown, Sam Yarbrough, Deke McCaskill, all right there. I mean, it is a hornet's nest back there, and we still have a big battle for the lead. To the inside goes Kyle Dudley yet again. Going to try to get underneath Caden Honeycutt. Just hasn't been able to make the middle work. You see it right there. He gets that car rotated, and Honeycutt's just firing off.
Yeah.
And if Dudley can just find a way to his inside, Dudley might have the better car here, but just doesn't have the track position. But you see it right now on the bumper of that 17. He's going to try something different, drift up the track, diamond off the corner a little bit. Didn't work that time, might work later.
And you don't know how hot he's firing up his tires by trying to make that pass on the bottom side. Let's go track side with James Pike.
Yeah, Doc, I'm down here back in the RNS race cars pit. Logan Clark's team trying to assess the damage on the front of his car. There was a stack up on that restart. Looked like somebody missed a shift, and Logan was just at the end of that train. But this is the second RNS race car of 3 that's been hit with some sort of incident early on in this race. Deke McCaskill of the trio is the only one that's had a clean race. So a few cards out of the deck for RNS race cars early, and a lot of eyes on Deke McCaskill to carry the banner for that race team now. Pete
McCaskill currently riding right now in 15th place, but that is Still a long race to go, and as we talked about, if you can keep that car in one piece, you're going to have a good night.
Yeah.
So far, RNS race cars not having a good time.
Man, I'm telling you, hate that for Marcus and all of his crew there. Of course, the drivers. Kyle Dudley still wearing out the backside of Caden Honeycutt in that 17 machine on the right side. You got a pair of 77s on the high side of Superman. On the bottom side, that is Trevor Ward. And the gray 77 right there in tow is the 87, the People's Champ, Mike Looney. Blake Stallings on the high side in the white and purple. Got that high line working. I told you they're going to work in that high line.
We saw Blake Stallings use that to great effect to a win a few weeks ago. And once again, is starting to check out just a little bit on the other 77 of Trevor Ward. Trevor Ward, no stranger to racing here at South Boston Speedway. Hasn't been here much with us this season. Mike Looney right there with him as well. That battles for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Landon Pumpleton's just a little bit back in 9th right now. He's got to train with Mason Bailey, Chase Burrow, Cade Brown, Brandon Pierce all right there. And out front, though, still the battle going on.
Great shot there on Mike Looney. Oh, caution is out. I don't see it. Caution out. Do you see it?
I do not.
Oh, what lap we on? Oh, it's
47, Doc.
Okay. We didn't make it to 50 yet, so that is coming up, stage
However,
1.
we will be making a 2-lap 50 here. So this is going to be our Okay. All right, so we found out the scoreboard had a slight issue. This is actually our stage break on lap 50. Scoreboard is showing a couple laps down there, so this is lap 50. We do have somebody upstairs basically keeping track of this by hand in case there's a problem with the scoreboard. And there we go. So this is our lap 50 break. Again, this is kind of how this is going to work.
Gutter work, stage 1 winner will be Caden Honeycutt. Stage 1 winner, $250, Ken.
Yep, $250. Caution flag laps do not count during this. And we'll get going again here in just about 3 or 4 laps. James Pike, what do you got for us?
Quick update on Isabella Robusto's machine. They changed the tire on this last caution. This time around, they're looking at the toe to see if it was knocked out of alignment with that contact. So crew's still over here taking a peek at it. They've got some time under the L to try and properly diagnose it, but that's what's going on with the second lead podium performance car, the number 55.
You know, we saw them working on that just a little bit ago, and when they were doing that tire change, they pulled the wheel off, had about 3 heads underneath, which is never a good sign. But we got that, so now we got that all worked out. Checking out down the other end of pit road, J.R. Waldrop back on pit road. And a handful of other cars coming down pit road right now. It looks like it's going to be the 2 of Matt Waltz, the number 17.
Is that Stacy?
Yes. Got Jason Myers also on pit road right now, getting worked on. Not really sure what's going on there. They've got it jacked up. They're just looking underneath, and yeah, nothing really doing exactly. Not a lot of hustle from the 17 team. You see there's Waltz's team. They pulled the hood off earlier. He had some damage on there, and you see them kind of leaning on the car. You see them, they can kind of get that down a little bit. They're going to try to put the hood back on. Aerodynamics here do matter. And so not having that hood is going to cost you a little bit. Really, what drivers will tell you is that left front fender tends to be the big thing you want on there, but it can't hurt to get that hood button back on and get going again for the Waltz team. Matt Waltz currently sitting in 21st place. James, what do you got?
I found where they have managed to rip the grill off, and they're also looking at the alignment on the left front. They've got a plate up there right by the left front trying to make sure that the toe's not knocked out of alignment. He, too, was one of the ones that got caught in that stack up on that restart, picked up a little bit of damage. Not as much as Logan Clark, but there's definitely some damage to the right front of the Per Year Tank Lines machine. Crew's going to work on it now. Looks like they've got wrenches. They've got, I see a saw over there. Looks like a little bit of bare bond tape to try and get this right side of the fender pushed back down so they can get this car back onto the racetrack. Whether or not the hood goes back on it or you go back green, who knows? But they're going to try their best to get the 17 car patched up.
Stacy Purrier with a half of an Ace hardware store working on his car right now. Isabella Robusto looks like they're wheeling that car back behind the wall. But Stacy Purrier, all that work that they've been doing, he's been on and off pit road every caution a bunch of times since that first incident. Still on lap 20, or still in 23rd place, still on the lead lap.
Stacy making some adjustments there, and we saw the shot there was 2 17 cars on pit road at one time. So the shot was on Jason Myers. They jacked up the back end of the car and was making adjustments, and they're still got that rear end up in the air, crew up under it. So Jason Myers had to work hard today in both races. Had his hands full in the Budweiser Limited Sportsman earlier, as you see him push Isabella Robusto's car to the back of the trailer.
Free pass car is going to be Kate Fogelman getting around there. That will put him on the lead lap, give us 25 cars on the lead lap. Jason Myers, though, it looks like will be. No, they're going to get him going. All right.
Good.
Not the night that Jason Myers wanted, but if you can keep that thing, keep working on it or whatever, see what they can do, maybe get that car back the way they want it. Stacey Poirier is going to take every ounce of time that we have available to get that car as right as they can. Again, he's managed to stay on the lead lap, so good for him.
So if Kate Fogelman was the lucky dog, there's nobody else 1 lap down. Bobby McCarty's 2 laps down, so if Bobby McCarty can move forward, make some ground, then he can possibly get the lucky dog on the next one.
We'll see.
So that's another story to watch. Come around, 1 to go, 1 to go. See Brandon Willard doing his flag twizzles. I don't know what to call it. But we're half a lap away from going back to green flag racing.
Eric Winslow back on the track. We'll likely pick up another couple spots here. Eric Winslow, by the way, has made his way up to 29th. Should be able to get up to about 27th or so with this next run. Danville Toyota pace car is off. Green flag is going to be up in the air. And once again, Caden Honeycutt, Kyle Dudley on the front row. Green flag in the air. Again, not a great restart by Kyle Dudley. And this time he's got Peyton Sellers on his outside. Peyton Sellers with a great run diving into turn 1. Comes off of turn 2 side by side with Kyle Dudley. They go into turn 3 right on the bumper of Honeycutt. He looks in his mirror and sees all the race cars. Comes off of turn 4. Peyton Sellers to second place with his eyes on Caden Honeycutt.
He was shot out of turn 4 like a cannon off the high side. Peyton Sellers, who normally likes to run that bottom side, he is working that high side to his liking. Carter Langley goes up to the high side, rubs up against the fence just a little bit on the inside. Don't know if he got pushed up there or just got too high off the exit of turn 4.
Kyle Dudley trying to find a way under Peyton Sellers. Dudley had gotten up to the track just a little bit, may have drifted up just a little bit, made contact with Carter Langley. Those 4 nose to tail right now. Battle for 5th, Mike Looney on the inside. Trevor Ward right there, Butterbean Queen right there. Man, it is whatever patience anybody had, it's already gone. We're on lap number 50.
Must be the heat. Got to be the heat.
I mean, they want all these guys want this race to be done as fast as possible. Get some DC.
Absolutely.
Peyton Sellers trying to make the high side work. Kyle Dudley kind of middle to inside. Carter Langley, last year's champion, looking all over the place. Mike Looney's right there on the inside, as is Butterbean Queen. Trevor Ward, just all the cars, just stacked and packed all the way around there. And you see these guys they're all seem to be looking for some grip. You know, it's still pretty hot out. The track isn't quite as grippy as it's been earlier this season. And you see guys trying different lines. Trevor Ward way down below the yellow line that time by. I feel like the first guy that finds something is going to start checking out on everybody. You know, Honeycutt hasn't necessarily pulled away yet. He's right there, but he's got a lot of good drivers, a lot of guys that are either local this season or have, won a championship here right in his mirror. And big pass there by Kyle Dudley back past.
I was going to say the last lap, his car really comes alive later. He might have a better, longer run car than most because that car just came alive and he, ran into the backside of Peyton Sellers going into turn 3 the previous lap. And now, look, he's got 2 car lengths on him.
We were talking earlier, Kyle and I, mostly talking about a strip to grease, but also, talking about that race car. And he didn't really think he had a fast car, like short term, qualifying, ends up qualifying on the pole, but didn't think he really had that kind of car tonight. But, he knew he had a relatively fast race car. And once again, I think he's kind of exceeded. Kyle Dudley shows up to win. He's not a guy that shows up, I'm going to go run 5th or whatever. But I think even maybe he's been a little surprised as to how well he's done. And in times when the car necessarily didn't feel the way he needed it to, it's still been fast. And that's right now why he's riding around in second, about 2 car lengths behind Caden Honeycutt. Peyton Sellers, Mike Looney, Carter Langley, Trevor Ward, Butterbean Queen, all kind of spread out, and then it's stacked up way behind Blake Stallings.
A little further back, Mike Looney gets really loose there. No, That was the other 87. No, that was Cade Brown. Cade Brown. I got my glasses on. I can't see up close, can't see far away. There's Mike Looney. But I was going to say a second ago, earlier on, he and Mason Bailey made some contact. You can see some damage to that left front. So hopefully that don't cause any ill action on that race car to make it handle a little different, because it kind of, messes up the aerodynamics. I don't care what you say, what you think. Aerodynamics does matter on this fast racetrack with these late model stocks.
Mike Looney and Peyton Sellers, they've raced hard this season. And get another thing, if you're watching for the first time this season, Peyton Sellers has been working those brakes harder than just about anybody else. His left front glows way hotter and way redder than you're watching right here on the shot. Derek's going to give us a great shot there as we go into turn 3. And you see that glow in there. You don't see that with some of these other guys. Peyton's driving it in just a little bit harder than everybody else. And so far it's generally worked, but you see that battle right there.
Look at this gaggle on the bottom right. Yeah, 3 wide coming off of turn 2.
That's the battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and probably 15th.
Before you say
Blake Stallings gets punted up the track just a little bit. Mason Bailey is going to try to make his way by to the inside. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. The 22 of Connor Hall is there as well. Blake Stallings decides to back out of it a little bit. Discretion, the better part of honor sometimes. Hauled out to the inside of the 05 of Mason Bailey.
Brandon Pierce right there looking on the bottom side. Look at Landon Pimbleton pushing the 77 through turns 1 and 2. Now he's on the bottom side pushing the 23.
Landon Pimbleton's trying to go, and he's just got nowhere to go. Behind him, again, that is the 2 of Brandon Pierce. Deke McCaskill's right there. Chase Burrow right there as well. All these guys just kind of, they need something to happen. Out front, though, again, here we go. Caden Honeycutt once again trying to hold off Kyle Dudley. Kyle Dudley once again getting to the inside bumper. Kyle Dudley keeps getting to that left fender. And just, right now, being very, very patient. Not trying to bump him, not trying to move him. We're going to have, the thing they're racing for right now, 30 laps to $500, courtesy of Sparks Oil in Sunoco. After that, there's another little check coming up at 150, but you got to have the car in one piece to finish. And I think right now, Kyle Dudley's not content in second place, but I don't think he's going to try to make any major hard moves. Meanwhile, to his right, Connor Hall gets past the 05 of Mason Bailey. Bailey does not look thrilled.
A little close quarter action right there with Connor Hall out of Halifax, Virginia. Mason Bailey in the 05s. Many starts here in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Leaders go around Jason Myers, and he's still right there on that left corner panel. They got Jessica Can. She's up in the higher groove. So that's going to bottle them up just a little bit. They'll have to be a little patient. Kyle Dudley will fall behind the 17 as they go around Jessica. She's trying to move up, give them plenty of room. They might have come up on her quicker than she wanted, so she couldn't get down in the lower lane. That's what they're told, right?
Yep. Mike Looney, by the way, started well back in the field and has made his way up to, 4th, 5th, 3rd right now. Being credited as a 3rd, and if you want some extra hard charger money, it's not a bad way to do it.
Right. He started 16th.
Yep, and he's currently in the top 3. He's made it past Peyton Sellers. Peyton Sellers now getting by Jessica Can. Kind of missed some of this as this battle for the lead has been ongoing for a while. And really, Kyle Dudley, Caden Honeycutt putting on a show out front. Meanwhile, back through the field, you look back, almost anywhere you look, right now I see, just looking right off the top of my head here, you got the 77 of Blake Stallings trying to hold off Cade Brown. That's for 10th. Just great racing all over the track as we watch this battle for the lead that continues to go with Kyle Dudley trying to find a way around Caden Honeycutt.
Mike Looney now starting to make some ground. He is turning some fast laps. That time by with a 15.8. The leader's down in the 15.6s, so the lead, that's pretty impressive to turn the faster laps than the rest of the field running side by side like that. And just off of the quarter panels, but you see Mike Looney coming into the picture ever so closer. So he's starting to creep up and make some ground on the leaders as Kyle Dudley just wearing the fire out of Caden Honeycutt. trying to make him make a mistake or just let him know he's there. A little contact there off of turn 2, but he's maintaining position. He's going to go for it. Little loose. Kyle Dudley gets a little loose, thinks better of it, gets back in line, and look who's in the picture now. The people's champ, Mike Looney.
Problem Looney's going to have right now is Looney really has nowhere to go unless he really pushes the issue right there. In a big race like this, you're going to have a lot of cars that are going to go a lap down. Right here, you see Raymond Pittman III going the lap down. Raymond Pittman currently sitting in 23rd place. So with that, Looney's going to have to kind of be a little patient. Maybe not too patient, but you see him, while he went up on the high side, decided, you know what, let's go up there, see if I've got to be up here. He went way up that to 1 and 2, just to see if there's any grip up there. Why not? That has allowed Caden Honeycutt to get ahead of Kyle Dudley a little bit, which has let Mike Looney get a little bit ahead. Peyton Siller's still back there in 4th. Trevor Ward with a good run in 5th right now. Carter Langley back to 6th. Brendan Queen currently 7th. Connor Hall, Mason Bailey, Blake Stallings round out the top 10. Landon Pembleton, we saw him on the FloRacing side-by-side. Him and Cade Brown have been side-by-side now with Pembleton on the high side now for about 10 laps. And you're going to see them through the speed shot here as they come off of turn number 4 in just a moment. And Pembleton's been trying to get by the 23. Just about clears him as they go into turn 1, and then 23 gets there. This time Pembleton will get by. But again, Kyle Dudley, Mike Looney, Caden Honeycutt, all right there. The question is, who wants to start pushing the issue? It looks like maybe
Kyle Dudley.
Kyle Dudley.
Right you are. As Connor Hall's working on the bottom side, trying to see who that is.
Brendan Queen.
Brendan Queen. Butterbean. They do the same thing at Langley Speedway on their weekly shows. They've done that in the past and in the Cars Tour. So here they are again. They finally get to race with a whole bunch of other people at South Boston Speedway. And who do they find themselves racing? Each other again. How about that?
That battle is currently for 7th place. Brendan Queen technically has a spot. Connor Hall trying to get it. The gap between the two, barely anything right now. It is a good.
51 up high. Timothy Peters.
Oh man,
off the pace. Brings out another caution. Right, yeah, he stopped on the track. He could get down to pit road. Got some kind of issue.
Looks okay from this side.
Timothy Peters, former track champion here at South Boston Speedway.
We are so something's definitely dragging on the back of that car. Sparks are flying. As we're going to cross over 91 laps, we may have a quick sprint to the halfway point. We might just get to the halfway point. We'll see how fast this caution flag takes. But you see Caden Honeycutt, your leader, Kyle Dudley second, Mike Looney third. We've got a FloRacing replay right here, and there you just see the 51 come to basically a stop.
Yeah, so something ill feeling on that car because he wouldn't just do that. I mean, that's kind of the norm for dirt, but we don't normally see that in asphalt. Let's go trackside with,
right front
there
down.
you go. Trackside with James Pike.
Timothy Peters has pulled into pit road right in front of me. The moment that the yellow came out, the crew immediately got a Hoosier tire up ready on the wall, so they knew that they were going to have to change that right front tire. So that's the bulk of the work right now. We'll see if there's any suspension damage just off of the dragging of the metal underneath the car that may have caused any more damage. But for now, it's just a tire change, and you can see pretty clearly that tire is flat. It is off the rim. It is definitely worthy of an approved change. So you can't necessarily just change tires in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, but if you have a flat, you can get that change approved by an official, and that's what's happening here because this tire is down at least 25, 30 pounds of pressure and smoking. So might make it a little bit easier for them. We've got the 2 tires coming up here at the halfway break that we'll see a lot of teams change to the fuel that they'll add, but this may make things a little bit different for Timothy Peters, but they do have to get that track position back now. That's the big concern for the 51 team.
Well, I was looking at that shot. It was a great shot there of them changing the tire. I really looked closely, Ken, at the sheet metal and the cowling around the tire. It didn't look like there was any damage, no scrapes, and possibly just ran over something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bunch of stuff right there. We've had enough cars get all beat up and kind of bunched up that it doesn't take a whole lot to puncture one of these tires. And if there's just a little something on the track, you run over it, it very well could have rubbed up on somebody, maybe cut a tire there. It could be a lot of things, but what we're going to have here is about a 5-lap shootout to halfway. And big news on the track, James Pike right down by you. The 6 car, Bobby McCarty, on pit road, nosed into the garage.
And window net down. You suspect that means that might be night over for the defending champion of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. And yes, he's taking the hose off the helmet. He's climbing out, unbuckling things. So that is night over. And the driver who ended up with the victory in this race 1 year ago will not have the opportunity to repeat the feat tonight in 2024.
Hate to see that for Bobby. Thank you, James Pike. Great stuff. Always Johnny on the spot between one quick report, and when something develops, he's right there on it. Thank you so much, James Pike. So I was going to look at Timothy Peters, 7 starts in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Hasn't won it. His best finish was 2nd several years ago. Trying to see when. That was 2016.
If you're going to push it, now's the time. You've got 5 laps to halfway, 5 laps to $500 courtesy of Sparks Oil and Sunoco. Danville Toyota Pace cars back off. It is going to be Caden Honeycutt and Kyle Dudley to the line. Green flag's back in the air. Late start that time by Honeycutt, and that is going to allow Kyle Dudley to be right there with him, and that whole field is stacked. We're going to go 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. Peyton Sellers backs it up, lets everyone kind of do their thing. Caden Honeycutt ends up the big winner out of that. They are stacked up all the way back behind them.
Caden Honeycutt gets away. Mike Looney got loose up there. Look at that gaggle right there in turns 1 and 2. All
the way packed up there. A couple people tapped the wall as they came off of turn number 4 that first time.
Look who's joined the party for the front of the lead. Trevor Ward passing 4 cars almost to get up there to press Caden Honeycutt for the lead, for the halfway money.
Trevor Ward took them 3 wide, and that was that move where Peyton Sellers fell back just a little bit, decided he wanted no part of that. Can't say I blame him.
Whoa!
And I see, and that's what Trevor Ward's been doing this whole race, getting down on the bottom, getting a little on that flat, and then the rear end keeps trying to kick out on him. And either he likes it that way or he's just dealing with it. Either way, that 77's looked loose all day. And the problem is, you get that loose in front of enough really hungry drivers, eventually you're going to get bumped and around you're going to go.
And when a race car driver, especially like the guys that are behind, especially Kyle Dudley, if he sees that's his weak point, he might just lean on you just enough to get you out of shape and let you do the rest of the spinning around. So you never know how that's going to play out. But strong move, power move by Trevor Ward out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Halfway, Caden Honeycutt is your leader. Caution flag flies for the halfway break. Caden Honeycutt, winner of $500, courtesy of Sparks Oil Company and Sunoco. And we'll re-rack them here in just a little bit once we have everyone all settled in. We have the running order right. But, man, a strong showing by Caden Honeycutt, holding back Trevor Ward, holding back Kyle Dudley, holding back Mike Looney and Peyton Sellers. That is a lot of very good cars that Caden was able to hold back, and he's your leader at halfway.
And collector of $500, courtesy Sparks Oil and Sunoco. Halfway winner. We're halfway through this one, Ken Childs. It's been a very exciting race, just like we expected. But how about that move by Trevor Ward, going 3 wide, maybe pushing it a little bit early, but it's a game of chicken. And Peyton Sellers thought better of it and said, all right, if you want to go that and cause this early, go ahead. And Trevor Ward made the best of it and got himself up in 2nd spot and ready for a restart after they get fresh tires. So he's going to be in great position there.
Jessica Cannon will be our free pass. See her rolling by right there. She is currently 22nd place. Was the first car 1 lap down. She'll get back around. The next car 1 lap down.
Back on the lead lap. Yep. That's good.
Jason Myers in 23rd. Timothy Peters currently 2 laps down. Bobby McCarty out of the race from 25th on back. Eric Winslow, by the way, credited with 29th tonight.
So is he done?
I think he's done at this point.
Because he was usually going out there making laps when somebody drops out.
I don't hate it.
That's right.
Position is position, man. So we're going to come down. It's going to be a 10-minute break. Crews cannot start working on the car until all the cars are stopped. And that is when we will unleash James Pike on the field. And he'll be down there getting interviews, chatting with people, finding out what the plan is. Traditionally speaking, they'll tell you what the plan is and do something completely different. Basically, what we're going to have is a whole bunch of race car drivers lie to James Pike's face. And he's down there nodding. He knows how this goes. Yeah, they're going to be down there basically, oh, yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to take it easy, and then they're going to go 5 wide into turn 1. You know, the usual. So we're going to have that. Again, You can change your 2 tires. Almost everyone's told me it's going to be right side tires. You can do regular, what I like to call regular pit stop things. If you were
adjustments,
regular adjustments, regular stuff you would do in the middle of a competitive pit stop, but you just have 10 minutes to get out, get some water, get some ice, go to the bathroom. If you got time, get a bologna burger. It's a little late, but these guys are probably a little hungry.
Yeah.
So there's time to do a few things to the car. We're going to see some folks refuel the cars to try to help reset the balance a little bit.
Yep.
You're gonna see a lot of different things. James Pike will find out what's going on down there and give us all the 411 on all the information. But
when they pull in, they're not going to pull in like you see on the shot. Bobby McCarty, they're going to stop on the pit road like that, and the crews will go out to the cars when they release them, and it'll look like a Le Mans start with the crews running out to their team.
I wish the drivers would run to their car and jump back in like the olden days. That'd be great. So, you're going to see everyone coming out to the cars. They're not allowed to do anything until until everyone's come to a stop. You see Jeff Bomar rolling through, making sure no one
He's in his police vehicle.
I believe they're not allowed to leave the pit box line. So you see everyone lining up there, ready to go. Yeah, right on the line. You see some of this. One of those crews, it's either
has their toes. They've got the toes on the line.
You've got equipment lining up on there. Everyone's being, kind of given the weighted up, and it's going to be interesting to see what people have to say about this first half of racing. It's been a lot of hard racing, like we talked about. It's a lot of close racing, and we'll see how this goes. We got 100 laps to go still. Want to give a quick shout out, Kara Cooper. Want to say hello. She's out here from Martinsville Bulletin.
Nice.
Always glad to have Kara out here. Red flag is up. That starts our 10 minutes as you see everyone hustle to the cars, including James Pike, as we see walking down there in the general direction of Caden Honeycutt. Once he's out, Caden's out there, he'll get a talking.
Carter Langley was quickly out of the vehicle, needed some cold water. Saw him, so it's very hot in drivers. Crews are working feverishly. 10 minutes on the clock, and 10 minutes has been started. So there's no limit to the number of crew members they can have over the wall, apparently. Some of them have more than others. Some of them are blessed with lots of crews. Some of them volunteer crew. Mason Bailey got the hood up. I think they're making some adjustments to the front end of that car. Jack going up under the 03. Mason Bailey making some adjustments, hoods up. Had some close quarter racing with several places. Several different drivers back through the field. Landon Pemberton there on your screen. Going to work there. Draven Sellers down there. That's Daniel's best friend. Some of them we see getting some fuel, putting a lot of fuel in that one. The new tires on the right side. Chase Burrow getting some work done on his race car. He had a great start, moved up the field, then had a little bit of contact and dropped back for a little bit. So hopefully he can get back up there, get back up to speed, move up some positions. His first attempt at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Why do I keep saying 250? James Pike's down there talking to some of the drivers, and as I noted, seeing Carter Langley quickly jump out of the car to get some fluids and put some cold water down his suit. Let's go down to trackside to James Pike, who's got a bird's eye view of the action going on pit road.
Well, what I've got is a driver who happens to be $500 richer, courtesy of the Sparks Oil Company Sunoco Halfway Leader Award, Caden Honeycutt. Caden, it is sheets of water that are just coming down everywhere, not only off you, but everybody else. For the fans in the stands, can you describe just the physical challenge of competing in these cars for 100 laps and what it's been like so far?
Man, it's just so hard. It's just this damn place it'll test how mentally tough you are, man. It's just we're going so fast around here. But under all this, I'm really enjoying it. I think we have a really good race car, thanks to Tom Meister Racing, Marcus Richmond RNS race cars. I think we got a really good piece. Throw some right sides on it, and we'll throw our nuts on the table and forget all this crap and just mentally go through it and win this damn thing.
I saw you talking to Marcus just a moment ago, talking about the adjustments you guys looking to make for the second half of this race. What did you tell him, and what are you going to try and do for the last 100 laps on the thing?
Well, I can't really tell you that, Pike.
Well, not as much as you can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit free right now, so we're probably just going to go throw tires on it and do the best I possibly can and go up there and rip the last 100 laps and try to keep everybody behind me. So it's going to be hard, but I think we can do it.
A lot riding here. Not only does he have that affiliation, yet it's Usher Meisman Racing, but there's a close affiliation with Marcus Richmond. And after the way the house cars at RNS have not fared well in the first half of the race, you know that there are a lot of resources that are going towards this car because the 17 has been fast all night long. So Caden Honeycutt, one to watch, got here and has been fast since the drop of the green flag. Kyle Deadly, you've maintained speed. You've been quick throughout these first 100 laps. How has the car felt underneath you in the opening half of this race?
It's okay on the long run. I think I'm getting on the track a little on the short run there. It's hurting me on the restarts there. Kind of hard to hold my own for a few laps, and then it kind of takes off. So we're going to make a couple adjustments, try to make it a little better there, and get up after it for 100 more laps.
Trying to find more short run speed, long run speed. Anything you're looking for in particular?
Speed really is what we're lacking. I feel like long run we're pretty good. So if we can just get the short run out in, we'll be in good shape.
So fired off speed. Also worth noting, I don't know if we've had the chance to talk about this, but he goes off to Greece on vacation, and then he takes his race car and he makes it the same color as the Grecian flag, which I something tells me that's not a coincidence, but clear he had a good time out in Europe a few weeks ago. Okay. And worth missing that race as we look through everybody here. I think I just got the 4-minute warning for things, so we'll turn our corner here, see if we can poke in with another one of the drivers that's been running well all night long, and a driver who finds his way up to the front in these Triple Crown races. Trevor Ward, how would you assess the first 100 laps of this race from your perspective?
When we fired off, I just, I didn't feel real confident in it. We had qualifying. Thought I kind of missed it, but I think we just kind of got a bad set of tires. And that last E-cycle, it fired off like a cannon. I hated to, get kind of that ballsy right there at the end there, but I was just kind of seeing what we had to 5 to go and see how it's going to size up for the end of the race. So all in all, it's been a good night, regardless how we finish. And got to thank the good Lord and everybody that's supported me through over the years to get to where we're at and have the opportunity to chase another Triple Crown.
Physically, what's challenge per se of running this, and how do you feel after 100 laps?
It's just everybody's hot, and we're fighting for the same inch. So, I guess it's just going to be a lot of patience at the end of the day, and I just got to hope we can, finish and get a good finish for the Triple Crown.
Trevor looking for his second lap of the Virginia Triple Crown after that dramatic win in the Valley Star Credit Union 300 last September. Lots of teams here working. A reminder that over the course of this 10-minute break, teams can change up to 2 tires, and most of them will be taking fuel as well. As I look at the officials, we are now down to 3 minutes to go in this break. A lot of drivers beginning to climb back into their cars. I see Connor Hall getting strapped into his number 22 machine. He is driven through this field. Did not have the qualifying effort that he wanted, but already up in the top 10 after the first 100 laps of this. Butterbean getting wheeled back and suited back up into his machine, and a lot of these drivers beginning to strap in, Doc and Ken, which means that I think my job, at least for now, is ready to take a pause, and it's time for you all to get back calling the second half of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200.
Boy, I tell you, James, kind of, my nickname's Doc. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a real doctor. I just play one on the radio here at South Boston Sobo Radio 105.7, which is a fake radio station, by the way. A little concerned, though. I've seen when guys get out of the cars during the halfway breaks in these races, you see them sweat. Yeah, we get it. These guys are sweating way more than normal. In some of them, you can see a little red tint to them. That means the exhaust. Worry about that with these guys. Their mental toughness, just like Caden talked about. But seeing some of these guys and how much they're sweating, that's going to come into play in the second half. Because man, some if you get a little bit of exhaust leak from the beating and banging, trying to move up position, that's going to really make that situation much worse, James Pike. Looking back,
we'll see if we can actually do anything here, but I had an idea, so I was just sort of trying to make my way down to the other end of pit road to see whether or not the same people that have been around at the beginning of this break were at the end. Looks like folks are already getting out of the way, and we've got a lot of drivers that are strapping in. Window nets are going back up. Crews walking away from these cars, so we're not too far away from the refiring of the engines and the resumption of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. 1 minute to go from the race officials. I see one finger in the air, so 1 minute until this midway race break is over.
See Mark Waltz walking around to his car there. Stacy Perrier in his car. Want to note something I viewed on a shot earlier when they were working on the back left corner of Caden Honeycutt. So looks like Kyle Dudley was wearing that corner out, so they had to make some adjustments to get it back to where it's supposed to be.
I found the one person that I wanted to find because I saw him helping Caden Honeycutt during the course of that break. Andrew Grady has stuck around, even though his night didn't quite go the way he had hoped. He's helping out a lot of the other drivers here. So what does it mean to you to be able to invest in these relationships, and how important is it for you, maybe if you don't have the night you want, to help out some of the other drivers that you've got good relationships with?
I usually bring my friends with me through the gate, but if I'm out of a race and Trevor or Caden or any of my buddies are up front and they need help, I'm going to do everything I can to help them, and just standing there holding a fan, getting them water, whatever they needed, man. So I don't care whoever wins it, as long as it's one of my buddies, that's all that matters. So it's going to be a hell of a last 100 laps right here.
I know it's a weird feeling, but can you take a little bit of gratification from all of your friends running so well?
Sort of. If it was Ryan Millington, I'd be a hell of a lot happier, but it's all good. Either way, it's going to be a hell of a show, and go Trevor or go Caden Honeycutt.
You sticking around for the end?
Oh, of course. I'm here.
He's a race fan before he's a race car driver, Doc and Ken.
That's awesome there, lending a hand to his buddies, even though he'll rub door to door with them all race long if need be. So that's awesome to see Andrew Grady hang around helping out his buddies, even though his day has ended. Cars are rolling here for the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. 100 laps in the books, 100 laps to go. We still got some more extra money. Stage 3, Southside Disposal, Stage 3 winner, $80. So we'll see if Caden Honeycutt continues to rack up some awards. And then we'll have to get our slide rule out to figure out who's going to be the hard charger, the Anderson Outdoor Solutions Hard Charger Award, $500 for that. So we need to make sure we get the math right there, Ken. So.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's looking like it's going to either be Connor Hall or Mike Looney, depending on where those guys finish off. Both of them started well back in the field and have worked their way up there and battling within the top 10, within the top 5. So it's going to be one of those two guys. Right as of right now, if everything stays the same, which, as you know, it always does. So we'll see how that all pans out. But Connor Hall started 23rd. Mike Looney started 16th. And right now they're currently being scored. Connor Hall in 7th and Looney in 4th. So it is kind of between them right now. Looking at some other guys, Landon Pemberton started 17th and has made his way up to 10th. So that's 7 spots. He's got a little ways to go. But a lot of guys, as we expected, guys that started, a little farther back that we know tend to race well here, are making their way to the front. The cream usually rises to the top unless something runs into it first. And that's kind of where we are now.
So I'd be curious to see where Caden Honeycutt, where he chooses the bottom side or the top side. My vote is the top side. He seems to be pretty strong on the restarts there, and knowing that Kyle Dudley, kind of like I alluded to with what I could see visually, his car don't fire off until a little bit later in the run. Now they got new right side skins, so we'll see how that affects his car, see how they made some adjustments.
One of the adjustments they have to make, just right off the bat, if you've got right side tires only, that car is going to turn real hard. If you got older left sides, newer right sides, so they've got to make a weight adjustment and all that, and maybe a shock adjustment, something there, just to get those cars handling the way that they need them to after this. And if you make the wrong change, you make the wrong adjustment, what's going to end up happening is you just die yourself out real fast, and you're going to have realistically one more chance to make an adjustment at lap 150.
100 laps to go. Fireworks are still yet to come in the race and post-race. I'm predicting fireworks for both. Fantastic racing so far, as we expected. Getting ready to start the second half. Caden Honeycutt has been the leader throughout most of the race. Several cautions, several big bang-ups. Still got a lot of cars on the racetrack. Great shot there for our viewers on Flow. Coming right in your living room. It's time to choose, and Caden does choose the top, so Trevor will take the bottom side, and Kyle Dudley's going to be right behind Caden Honeycutt.
Kyle Dudley's had no problem hanging with Caden Honeycutt. The problem's been getting around him.
Right.
So he could easily fire off on that high side, just ride along with him. The question is going to be, did Trevor Ward's team do anything to get that car a little tighter? Because that rear end definitely felt like it was trying to work its way around a few times. And what you don't want to have happen is on this restart, that rear end kick around just a little bit. Someone, even the guy right behind you doesn't necessarily have to get into you. Someone has to get into them, bumps you up into you, and then before you know it, you've got a 15-car pileup on the front stretch.
Yep.
And that's the thing they show every year.
So it's kind of team cars, Reynolds Racing Chassis, Trevor Ward, and so is Mike Looney, and that's something they've been working on, is getting the cars to rotate on the bottom side, no matter what everybody else is telling them. Hey, these tires, you can run the top side. They've really tried hard, and they've kind of shared notes, not all their notes, to get those cars to rotate on the bottom side. So curious to see how that's going to play out today on this restart coming around turn 3.
Field comes off at turn number 3, going to work their way through turn number 4. Danville Toyota pace car makes its way on the pit road. You see Trevor Ward right up there, pinned up against Caden Honeycutt. Caden Honeycutt, though, is the command car. He gets going. Green flag back in the air, and we're back underway. And a good restart by Honeycutt on the outside. Here comes Kyle Dudley, as expected. Can't quite do anything there. Ward to the inside. Does he have anything for Caden Honeycutt? So far, no one. People have been able to get this close.
Yep.
Right side by side with them. No one's been able to make that pass happen or even really get close there. Ward doing the best so far, all the way down on the inside wall.
Wow.
But again, look at the 17 fire off.
Yeah, look at that car. Shot out of turn 2 like a cannon, but look at the 77. Got some good momentum. Car's rotated good. Will he lead at the line? Yes, he will lead that lap. Lap number 102.
Somebody back there is getting a black flag, but it's nobody up front. We do see the flag going, though.
Uh-oh.
Trevor Ward, your leader. Caden Honeycutt now second. Peyton Sellers, Kyle Dudley battling for third. But Trevor Ward has taken the lead and is starting to pull away a little bit. And no one, at this point, no one's going to run less miles than Trevor Ward, as low as he is on there. He has definitely shortened this track up just a little bit.
Back to a 3/8.
Oh, yeah, all the way back down there. A little bit of bump right there between Peyton Sellers and Kyle Dudley. Dudley up the track just a little bit. Peyton right down there. Peyton has decided his go time right now.
One thing we kind of missed at the start, and I had a note and I forgot. The 22, Connor Hall, had to start close to the back of the field because they had to do a time.
Yeah.
But he officially will be credited for the start in his starting position. Right. So, as far as the hard charger award, right?
Right, I believe so.
Okay. So if he goes all the way from the dead last to, top 5, that would be a definite candidate. So I don't know how that plays out since he had to start in the back.
Peyton Sellers has been all over Kyle Dudley since this restart. And Kyle Dudley has not backed off one bit. Sellers has looked high, a little bit of contact. No contact where he's really trying to get him out of the way. Peyton Sellers, if you wanted to punt Kyle Dudley, would punt Kyle Dudley.
Yeah.
And we'd all see it. What he's done, though, is let him know he's there, move him up the track, move him down the track, and Kyle Dudley's making it work. He is starting to pull away again now.
See, now we're, 2 or 3, 8 and 7 laps into it. And, as we said, I think Kyle Dudley would do anything and everything to keep those cars behind him because he knows he's got a better, longer run car. And right here is showing that proof as he's putting some space between himself and Peyton Sellers. So the early part of a restart is the most dangerous for Kyle Dudley.
That black flag, by the way, was for the 40 car of Brian Thomas. He's been on and off pit road now. Not sure if they thought he jumped the start or what was going on, but man, look at how low that 23 machine was right there. The Cade was all the way down, like way down on the flat down there.
3 wide, almost 3 wide. See on just right side. And the governor thinking better of it, but he goes up to the top side. Look like possible contact with he and Blake Stallings. Well, they're really mixing up on the left side. Connor Hall to the high side will pass Peyton Sellers and Carter Langley.
Connor Hall able to hold off Peyton Sellers right there. Now here comes Carter Langley. These two guys battled all season long last year. Carter Langley on the inside, Peyton Sellers on the high side. You see the bit of the scuffing up on Peyton Sellers' left front there. The white is turned just a little bit black from some tires there, but now Peyton Sellers up on the high side. A spot that's worked for him pretty much all season, this season and last. And it'll need to be something special by Carter Langley right now to get by there. Unless Peyton Sellers just makes a mistake, Carter Langley's going to be in for a long haul trying to get by Peyton Sellers there, because Sellers will not back down on that high groove, as we've seen all season.
He'll make a dive on the bottom side, try to maintain position going down the back straightaway. Peyton Sellers to go to the high side off of turn 4, see how that momentum is, but Connor Hall or Carter Langley's right there with him, and he'll clearing for that position coming off of turn 2 from the bottom.
Sellers looked like he checked up just a little bit in the corner there, and just really the car isn't rotating the way he needs it to right now. You see him kind of drifting up just a little bit, and it's not rotating the way he needs. And Mike Looney kind of in a similar situation here. Looney early on in this race was firing his way through the field, and right now he's got Mason Bailey on his high side. That battle for 7th, Bailey's trying to find a way up and around Looney. Looney's car just doesn't quite have the speed on the bottom.
He and Mason Bailey in the 05 on the high side there got together earlier. That's where that damage, as you see on the shot right there, you see that little dark spot on that left front fender. That was contact with Mason Bailey early in the run, well before halfway.
Yep.
So Mike Looney will fall in behind Mason Bailey. Here comes Connor Hall, gets back around Carter Langley. Carter Langley, last year's champion here, Sunterra Health, late model stocks. Connor Hall, last year's national champion, Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series national champion, and currently leads the national points under the NASCAR banner. Racing out of Langley, his home track. Carter Langley, Connor Hall is for 4th spot right there. Just ahead of him is Kyle Dudley in 3rd. Trying to chase down Caden Honeycutt, who spent 1st most of the event, and now is in 2nd spot. Trevor Ward, Winston-Salem, North Carolina native, son of Dean Ward. Dean Ward has raced here, gotten 7 or 9 wins, something like that. But that halfway interview, I was going to say he couldn't look any more like his dad if he tried right there. He looked just like his dad.
Trevor Ward's had a lot of good races out here. Maybe not the finishes that he'd like to have showing for him, but he's had a lot of really good runs out here. He's got the speed in that race car, and today is absolutely showing it. He's got about a full second advantage now over Caden Honeycutt, who is a class in the field for the first half of the race. And just, Ward's been needing a race like this, where he's had the fast car, and other races, he's just had stuff happen to him out here. And today, Ward's really making it happen. 3 wide coming off turn number 2 there. Brandon Pierce ends up getting the spot. Tate Fogelman right there as well. They were going around the slower car of Jason Myers there, and decided that patience was not a virtue. They just went up and around him there. But you keep seeing that battle for Connor Hall and Carter Langley. Hall's had that spot for a while. Langley's trying to find a way around him, and we see Langley all the way down on the apron there.
And back to the same scene, just for a different position with the lap car right in front of him. That's going to pinch them all down. That's going to be kind of sketchy going down in turn number 3. Kyle Dudley now still on the backside of the 17 of Caden Honeycutt. And he's still there. That car really fires off good later in the run. Talking about the Kyle Dudley cars, they come up on the backside of Jessica Can. See if Kyle Dudley uses her as a pick. As Caden races down the front straightaway to get on the bottom side to keep Kyle Dudley at bay.
On the right, you see a battle for 17th right now. Mount Waltz to the inside of Blake Stallings, and they've been racing pretty hard for a little while now as well. Man, just good hard racing everywhere right now. And on the left, you see once again, and here comes Kyle Dudley. This time a good run on the inside, gets almost even with the 17. Can't quite make it stick though. And again, Honeycutt's just a little bit faster. But now you see in that mirror, in Kyle Dudley's mirror, here comes Connor Hall. And here comes Carter Langley. We're about to have a 4-way battle right now for second place.
Yeah, it's about to get busy, and that's Trevor Ward saying, yeah, y'all go ahead and beat and bang and tussle for that number 2 spot. Meanwhile, that's going to allow him to get away because he's being unimpeded for that top spot. Power move right before halfway to get up in that second spot, Trevor Ward, and has taken over the second half of the race so far. 68 laps to go. Still got one more stage break. Racing for $250. Southside Disposal, stage 3 break.
So right now, Trevor Ward, the last few laps, has been holding right about the same pace as second, third, and fourth, which is some smart racing on his part right now.
Yep. There's
no point in pulling away. You know there's a caution coming. Why race it any harder? Why burn up your tires? You know the caution's coming. Let these guys race. Let them work hard behind you. Save your tires. Give it a big run for the last 50. And right now, every lap, Ward's got to have a spotter right now telling them this is this is what you need to do. This is how hard you need to be pushing. Because right now he's playing this perfect.
Yeah, he's in that catbird seat, no doubt. Carter Langley, I don't know if he got into the backside of Connor Hall. See him get really loose on that bottom side. As they're still in the same, situation, right there all over each other, but still not being able to make that pass. Connor Hall trying not to be impatient, but he might have a better car to try to get up there and contest with them as he go 3 wide coming off at turn number 4.
They try to go 3 wide, and Caden Honeycutt gets away just a little bit. Here comes Connor Hall to the inside of Kyle Dudley. Carter Langley right there as well. Does Hall have anything for the 4? And right now, it looks like just a little bit. And the question is going to be, can he get by both of these guys? If he can get by the 17, he's got a clear shot at Trevor Ward, and he'll have a really, really good spot on that restart coming up in 12 laps.
Have to give up that inside spot for going around lap car of Jason Myers. This just has not been the best night for Jason Myers, and
absolutely not.
And that makes it even hotter in that car when nothing's going right, I bet.
Yep. Side-by-side battle for second. Caden Honeycutt on the outside. Connor Hall to the inside. Connor Hall to the inside, holding the inside, and making a pass to the inside of Caden Honeycutt, making relatively quick work of the 17, making a move that so far no one, aside from the 77, has really been able to make tonight.
I was really surprised. I thought Kyle Dudley would follow Connor Hall as he gets to the bottom side of Caden Honeycutt, but he's still right there behind Honeycutt, now in 4th spot.
The 4 car is just not firing off the corner the way he needs it to. I don't know if maybe he's just driving it in a little bit deeper and the car's, having to rotate, and then he's just getting in the gas a little bit later than everybody else. But he's been able to get to people and just doesn't have that oomph off the corner. You see right here, he'll catch to the bumper of the 17 Honeycutt. They come off the corner, and away goes Honeycutt. Meanwhile, battle for, that looks to be about 13th. Battle for 12th. Brendan Queen on the high side, Sam Yarborough to the inside. Right behind them is 08 of Deep McCaskill, or sorry, the 00.
Chase Burrow.
Chase Burrow there. Got a whole bunch of cars. Deep McCaskill's just ahead of him, that's what I saw. And Yarborough trying to hold off Butterbean Queen and is able to do so far. Burrow now to the inside of Butterbean as they come through turns 1 and 2 there. And, man, just not the night that Butterbean wanted either. Right
he has to move forward. So, but, on these longer races, if you manage your tires, you might give up positions. Then the last, 50 laps, which we're coming up on, 55 to go, that might be the time to go. So we'll see if they're playing that kind of strategy, playing possum till it's time to go. Brandon Pierce getting up in that 12th spot action as well.
And Trevor Ward has started picking up the pace. He's picked up about 2/10 compared to his last few laps. Just when he's got free track, he's putting down a 16 even still. A pace that no one else has been able to come close to matching right now. See Peyton Sellers back in the screen, just behind Carter Langley, currently in 6th place right now. And all these guys, you look back, you think Peyton Sellers really hasn't had the race that he's wanted or whatever. Man, he's in 6th place with 50 laps to go, and there's going to be a mad dash to the finish. Something's going to happen. You just need to be around it,
Looks like they're mixing it up there with Butterbean, Chase Burrow, Brandon Pierce, Tate Fogelman, 1 to go, coming to the stripe here for the Southside Disposal Stage 3 winner coming up. Battle continues there. There's your leader. Good look. You got to see that car. On the flow, the car looks beautiful, shiny as he goes across the stripe for the Stage 3 break. He'll be your winner for the Southside Disposal Stage 3, $250 to Trevor Ward out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and last year's Virginia Triple Crown champion. And coming back, flexing his muscle, not wanting to give up that title, and looking in great position to do so. In the 18th running Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, Trevor Ward has really come on strong. He switched chassis manufacturers. He's in a Reynolds chassis. And has really made a name for himself. So we're going to re-rack them for a 50-lap dash for the title. Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Thunder Road Harley-Davidson located in Danville, Virginia. They've been a part of this soiree for 11 years now, Ken Childs. And Thunder Road has the area's largest new and pre-owned motorcycle inventory, as well as award-winning service department to take care of all your riding needs. Be sure and go see them in Danville, Virginia, 4870 Riverside Road. Check them out on the interweb, thunderroadhd.com. It's thunderroadhd.com. Let's go trackside to James Pike.
Back in the Jason Myers pit earlier, they raised the track bar to try and loosen the car. This time around, it looks like they're working on the grill and just trying to clear off some of the ducts to the radiator. There was a lot of rubber that was built up underneath, so the crew took a... Actually, they've got a fan on Jason, too, so if you want an indicator of how hot it is, they took a leaf blower, this little cordless leaf blower, and they blew off the grill, and now they're just trying to get air into Jason Myers and into that cockpit, so everybody just fighting the hot conditions here. Also, Butterbean is down on pit roads. Been right on the edge of the top 10 for most of the night, so he'll go to work. A little bit of damage to the left rear of that machine that I had not seen up to this point, but they already are working to bend that back in. Now they're looking underneath the right rear. Looks like they're going to try and make a track bar adjustment on Butterbean's machine to try and get that car back towards the front.
You know, we're at the point of the race now where if you're not happy with your car and you're sitting in 10th, you're going to be in 10th unless you do something.
Yeah, plus...
And Yeah, unless you've been trying to race some kind of strategy all night, which, judging by what we've seen, the only strategy I've seen is race as hard as you can and try not to wreck.
Yeah.
Which is a great strategy, don't get me wrong, but if everyone's doing it, someone's going to have to do something different. You see Blake Stallings down on pit road. He's been down on and off. Stacey Purrier's been on and off pit road for about the 30th time. And they're doing a good job there trying to keep that going. Again, caution flag laps do not count. The stage break, $250 to Trevor Ward, presented by Southside Disposal.
See, they got some air going in on Brendan Queen. So I know we got some of the best in the business and our trackside safety crew and cleanup crew. They also work in the medical field. Matt Calder, Scott Calder, Doc Sylvian, Corey Johns. That's our regular guys here at South Boston Speedway. Some of the best in the business. If there's a hard, scary crash that happens in short track racing, if it happens here, I know they're in the best hands in all of short tracks, and we appreciate them so very much. Plus, we got the folks from ESI here. Chuck, do you know how to say Chuck's last name? Good Lord. Bruzenzeski?
I don't know.
Thank you. David O'Neill, but that Chuck, he's here. I want to make sure we give him credit with ESI here with their official safety equipment. David O'Neill, David Good, and Derek Potts. And I know I'm going to get blasted for messing up Chuck's last name. I do apologize. It took me 5 years to figure out how to say Carl Bajeski's name, so I'm going to have to work on this one. All right, they paired him up. Trevor takes the bottom side, gives Connor Hall the top side.
I mean, Trevor's been down he's spelunking at this point. He's actually actively spelunking, going that far down at the bottom.
Did you make that up?
No, it's a word.
That is a word?
It's when you go on caves and stuff. You lower yourself down with the ropes. And
It's called spelunking.
Spelunking, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Scrabble. You get extra points.
Yeah, so he's been as low down as anybody has been all season. I mean, he's been way down on the apron and making that work. So why not go down there one more time? But you're going to have to hold off Connor Hall, Caden Honeycutt, Kyle Dudley, Carter Langley, Peyton Sellers, Mason Bailey. Just a lot of good race cars out there. Final 50 laps to go. Crowd is back on their feet. Pace car is off. Trevor Ward, Connor Hall come laps of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Getting ready to go. Green flag is back in the air. Great start by Connor Hall on the high side. He's neck and neck with Trevor Ward. He's going to get a great run on the outside, but here comes Ward on the inside. Kyle Dudley as well thinks about making a 3-wide, thinks much better of it, and they're stacked up. You throw a blanket over about the top 15 right there. Trevor Ward has a spot. Connor Hall trying to make it work. Hall will lead that lap by 24 1/1000ths of a second, Doc.
My goodness, close quarter racing at the front of the pack all race long. 200 laps will make up the distance. And if they side by side, is he going to get credit for this? Yes, he will get that lap as well. Connor Hall on the top side. Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia. His home track is Langley Speedway. Race the Cars Tour. Caution is out.
As the number 50 of Raymond Pittman goes around off of turn number 2, caution flag flies.
Luckily, doesn't look like he made hard contact with anything, so that's good.
Appears to be okay.
Just went to the spin cycle. All right, as soon as we start collecting our breath, we get to do it again. Goodness, how many more times can we handle this? Connor Hall will be the control car this time. So multiple leaders throughout the event. Connor Hall now will be in control for the start. Who's the lucky dog? Do you know?
Jessica Cam.
Back on the lead lap. You go, girl. Girl power.
Looks like got a few cars coming on the pit road, including, here we go, FloRacing replay right there. I love this camera that we got set up here.
Ooh, boy. Just did miss that inside barrier.
What do you got, James?
Looks like Brandon Pierce got the worst of it as Carroll Speed Shot number 2, Thunder Road Harley-Davidson Chevrolet down here. There is damage to the left front, but it looks like it's right at the joint where the front bumper and that left front fender connect. So there's a little bit of work that they need to do, but it isn't as bad as it could be. Crew already putting a whole bunch of air bond tape on the right front, just trying to lift out some of the creases on that fender and then around the grill, just make sure that the engine gets some air, because we know how hot it is down here. I talked to one of the photographers here, Blake Harris, and he told me he's been around the property all night shooting from inside and outside the racetrack. His estimation is that it's about 10 degrees warmer just down on pit road than it is anywhere else outside the racetrack. Also, a lot of fluids getting switched out. I can see Brendan White Shelby coming in and giving him a few fluids before he can get on the racetrack. So Brandon Pierce also trying to beat the heat and make sure he stays hydrated over these last 50 laps.
Brandon Pierce is going to be 20th place, first car 1 lap down. They stayed on pit road for an extra lap to get that car right, knowing very well that Jessica Can just got the free pass, and Raymond Pittman is the only other car 1 lap down. So he's got one car he's got to beat and has to hope that there's another caution in the next 40 laps, which if I were a betting man, I just spent 4 days in Las Vegas. If I were a betting man, I would go ahead and guess that he's got a good shot of getting this lap back. And if they can get that car back in one piece and get it raceable, there's no reason they can't do something with it and try to rally for. They're probably not going to win, but they could rally for a really strong finish if enough things go their way right now. They're going to come to the cone here in just a moment. I believe we got a nice zoom in of the cone. You see the cone on the wall. We used to roll the cone out there. And somebody realized if we just paint something on the track, it makes a lot more sense. But they used to. One track I was at, they had a cone and they tried doing the thing with a rope on it to like pull it back.
Oh wow!
And it got caught on. I want to say it was Ryan Rhodes. It got caught on his spindle and he dragged it halfway around the track.
Man.
And so what we finally realized is if we just paint it on the track and we all know it's there, we'll just it's fine. Looking down pit road to see Jacob Borst getting pushed back out, and Jacob Borst is rolling again.
Making some laps.
Let's see. Jacob Borst is currently 147 laps down. I imagine they're just bringing that in, or maybe not. He's rolling it back out. Jacob Borst could pick up. Honestly, I don't think he can pick up another spot on the in the track points. And no, he's rolling it around. He is done for the evening.
Yeah.
It is obviously with this many cars here tonight, it is very tight in the garage. So just getting your car into your hauler is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. So Borst is going to probably just roll around and do that. Should be getting one to go next time by. And once again, it is Connor Hall and Trevor Ward 1-2. Kyle, this time will be the first time for Connor Hall taking the choose as their leader. And the question is, does Hall try to block Trevor Ward from taking the bottom there?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
Connor's been too good on that high side.
Yeah, didn't even make it look close.
And I don't think Trevor's mad at that.
No,
so I want to say a quick shout out to my buddy Jason Sherrill, who's watching. Hope you guys are having a good time and enjoying the race. He said if he had a pick, he'd say Connor Chainsaw Hall is his pick. So he is coming through the field, brothers. He texted me. So it's good to see you. Thank you so much for checking us out
I
and
assume
watching.
you got that text a while ago as he is now through the field and up front.
Yeah. I had to take a peek at that. But thank him for watching and checking us out. Light comes back on. Still got things to sort out there. So anticipating a fantastic restart again. Trevor Ward, he ain't mad about being back on the bottom. That's where he wants to be. So Caden Honeycutt will be right there behind him. Peyton Sellers will be behind Caden Honeycutt. The 4-car will restart in the second row on the high side behind Connor Hall. So we'll see how he can operate on the high side. He's been normally restarting on the bottom side. So remember, his car just doesn't come up to speed like the rest of the cars. So it takes him 5 or so laps. So see what he has to do to fend off some of the guys that are trying to pounce on him early. Because the other spotters are reporting. We're ready to go back to green.
Trevor Ward right up on Connor Hall. We're going to come back to the line here. Great shot on FloRacing. Green flag back in the air, and Trevor Ward right there with Connor Hall. Caden Honeycutt on the inside, trying to push the issue just a little bit. Kyle Dudley, great run on the high side there. The front two pull, trouble for Kyle Dudley, backs it up just a little bit. That's going to stack the field. Contact is going to turn number 3. Caution flag will fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars involved. And there's the caution Brandon Pierce needed. You got the 0595, 87-2. That's a lot of cars right there.
Yep. That's the...
We've got the
That's Mike Looney. That's the 87 of Mike Looney. Landon Pendleton on the high side up against the wall.
That's
Chase Burrow.
Yeah, Mason Bailey right there. Sam Yarborough as well. Matt Waltz got involved in. That's almost the exact same spot he was involved in the race. Last race out here.
Yeah.
That's where he got in a wreck.
Yeah, this is going to be a good cleanup. Our safety crew right there on it. See Mason Bailey out of the car, not happy.
No,
seeing his body language there.
And that was one of those deals. I don't know that it's anybody's fault. Kyle Dudley got bumped a little bit, went up the track, and it's Kyle Dudley's job to save that car and keep his car going. Whatever happens behind him is going to happen behind him. And what happened was everyone kind of stacked up, and eventually you can only, I don't care how good your spotter is, you can only get so far with that before someone's going to get into the back of somebody and the accordion's up, and then we end up like this. And unfortunately, a lot of very good race cars are out of the race now, including Sam Yarborough, Mike Looney, Landon Pendleton,
Chase Burrow.
Yeah, Chase Burrow's there. Matt Waltz, we'll see what he's got. Matt Waltz is on pit road. Yeah, so it's Waltz's car looks to be pretty okay. It just may have just fallen off a jack. Landon Pendleton may or may not be okay, depending on.
Yeah, he's not getting out of his car. He might just be waiting for them to get him. The rest of them out of the way. So he's going to sit there patiently. He's got some folks sneaking in there. Please back away from the fence while the cars are there. You don't know if they'll flash up a fire or anything like that. So please, we wish folks would back up off the fence there where the 0 car is.
Yeah, you see there's Franklin's Record Service. Here's a FloRacing replay, and what you're going to see here is Kyle Dudley gets a little bit of a bump right there. And just everyone checked up behind him.
Mike Looney got into, I don't know if somebody got to the back of him. I have to take another look at it. But he definitely touched the inside wall and threw him up into the rest of the field.
Yep, right there. Just you see it, just hits the inside wall and then just ricochets up. And
wow.
And we're all along for the ride at that point. There's nothing you really could have done. Matt Waltz didn't get him that bad.
Yeah, I think the 0 isn't that bad, but man, what a hard lick for Sam Yarborough.
Yeah, he got airborne. So red flag is going to fly for the second time tonight on lap number 163. We don't usually time the red flags here because it's kind of an irrelevant piece of information. Just know it's going to be red for a little bit, and then it won't be.
There you go. That kind of goes in our conversation about car count.
Yeah.
That's so irrelevant.
Yeah, so here we go. We got a red flag for a little bit. Waiting to see what we got down on pit road right now, but it's looking right now. Matt Waltz's car. It looked like his car kind of fell out there. They had it up on the jack. The red flag came out, and then it looks like it may have fallen off the jack. But we're going to have a bit of a red flag here, so we're going to take a break here from the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Yeah, Landon Pendleton looks to be fine.
Yep, he was just waiting for her to get him out of the way.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break here from the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200 live at South Boston Speedway, live on FloRacing.
If you're looking for a tale, there's one to be told in Halifax. Woven throughout the landscape, you'll discover people and places that shine as bright as stars. A place where you can be adventurous, spirited, laid back, or revved up. It's where you can find fireworks in the night sky and spirits that never run dry. So take a drive and come see why the stars shine brighter in Halifax County.
Hey, I'm Blake Stallings. You're watching Sobo on Flow.
Welcome back to South Boston Speedway for the 18th running of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Currently under red flag conditions. Got most of the cars pulled away from the scene of the crime. Crime happened up in turns 3 and 4. Mike Looney's car there on the shot. You could see him being pulled away. He is done for the night. Had a pretty strong showing early on. But that incident will take him out of contention for tonight's race. Checking in with James Pike here in just a minute, see if he can get a word from some of these drivers that were involved. 37 laps to go, so that's when the business starts to in child. So I don't think this will be the last time we'll see some bent up sheet metal.
No, and that one was kind of a weird situation because it didn't look like, James will track down Mike Looney here in a little bit, but it didn't look like it was your typical stacking up situation. Looney tapped that wall. I don't know if he was trying to get down there and maybe just got a little loose and had to chase it down or what happened, but he definitely looked like he tapped that wall and just came up and anyone that happened to be around ended up along for the ride there. And break, you see this FloRacing replay once again here. Keep your eye right there. You'll see that and comes up and Looney just tapped the wall, caught the 05, caught the 95. And then if you're around that, you just kind of got caught up in it. Again, Landon Pendleton looks pretty okay. Watch him as he comes into your shot, kind of midway through here. He goes up the track, gets on the binders, and just barely taps him there. Same with Matt Waltz in the 2. No one else.
I can't wait to hear from the driver because I'm curious. On that replay, it almost looks like the 5, Mason Bailey, and the 87 and Mike Looney made contact right before Looney went down and hit that inside retaining wall.
James, what do you got?
I've got Sam Yarbrough here from McCumbee Elliott Racing. Sam, what went wrong going into 3 for you?
Sam Yarbrough not happy with how things panned out for him out there today. McCumbee Elliott Racing does a great job with that car. It's a relatively small team, and Sam Yarbrough is a driver that has just been so good for so long now. I remember him winning the Myrtle Beach 400, decades ago almost now.
Yeah, it seems like it. He was a master at managing them tires on them wore-out tracks down in South Carolina.
Racing for Chad McCumbee, a guy he used to race against a ton down there. And Chad McCumbie's gotten into sports car racing and has been very, very successful in sports car racing, but still keeps these late model teams going and has been just as successful in late model stock racing. And it's a tough deal when you get caught up in something that's definitely not your fault. I mean, Sam Yarbrough was doing nothing wrong there other than just existing and got caught up in some stuff and is clearly not very happy.
Slightly a whole lot not happy, no doubt, so we certainly apologize for that. Unfortunate language that came across, but hey, that's what passion is all about, and can't blame him for that. That's a lot of money that got tore up that wasn't of his doing, so you have to empathize for sure. In the shot there in the green vest, that's Andy Newsom, a fantastic photographer of short track racing of dirt and asphalt. He is one of the greats here. He's talking with Will Creor, who is doing a lot of our social work today. As yellow flag gets displayed, we're back under yellow flag conditions. Cars will move, and these guys can work on their cars if they need to, get them back out there. But Will and Dane Ferguson also doing Dane sang their national anthem. How cool was that? And doing our social work. So those guys have really knocked it out of the park. So it's awesome to see. That's all 3 of them right there. I see Dane now. So it's cool to have them in the shot there to give them a little bit of pat on the back because they've been working out in this heat for 2 days. Will has for 2 days. So thanking them for all their effort.
Going to need to see exactly who gets the free pass here on this one. It should be, from what I had scored, it should have been Brandon Pierce, but I see Raymond Pittman also scored 1 lap down just ahead of him. So we'll see which one it is. Raymond Pittman's had a pretty nice race out here today.
Yeah, had to spin, but didn't hit anything. Let's go down trackside to James Pike.
Chase Burrow is one of the other drivers involved in that incident. Chase, did you see anything going into 3 there?
Man, I just saw him stacking up. I had it missed and got run over from behind. That's one of those deals here. It's a really tight racetrack, but like what a frustrating night, man. We had a bad fast car, and after during the meet and greet we had a right front go down, so we had to start with a scuff tire on the right front, just trying to maintain to get to the brake, and just couldn't make it back up. The Sellers guys did a good job all weekend. We had a bad fast car. I can't thank Medic enough, but just one of those deals.
That's Chase Burrow, promising young racer. I'm a fan of Chase Burrow. I'll tell you, that young man can get her done. He's racing with the Cars Tour and some of the tougher late models. His first attempt here at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, and he's pretty impressive. I'm telling you, he's been very impressive with the Cars Tour and does a fantastic time. Fantastic job on dirt as well. Real quick, while we're still under caution for our fans, they're still looking for that 50-50 ticket. You have that 50-50 ticket. Got some folks.
Folks, I'm going to read this one more time for you here, and this is going to be it. I've read it about a half dozen times already. 915-159, 915-159. That is your 50-50 ticket number, 915-159. It is literally 3 numbers in 2 different orders, 915-159. That is your 50-50 ticket number. If you have any more questions about it, go to the track office. They have the ticket there. If you've won, go to the track office. They have the ticket there. Bring some ID because you're going to need that for tax purposes.
That's right.
Should be getting one to go here in the next minute or two as we pace our way around here. Coming up to about 30 laps to go. Again, the final 10 laps of this race, caution flag laps will not count.
So I guess it's safe to say it's go time.
I mean, it was go time a little while ago, I think.
Yeah. Man, I hope you folks on Flo are enjoying this race, having a good time. Very competitive race, as we knew it would be. I know the fans here in the stands are having a good time. Folks, are you guys having a great time here at South Boston Speedway? Yes, you can hear them. That's good. Thank y'all so much for coming out to South Boston Speedway. Packed house again for this event, and the folks will be treated to a fantastic fireworks display. I don't think maybe we're not finished with fireworks display on the racetrack, so they'll be treated to fireworks off the racetrack at the end of the event. Connor Hall.
So Raymond Pittman is your free pass card, appears to be. That will leave. Brandon Pierce.
Look who's leading.
So that'll.
Yep, Raymond. There goes Raymond.
He's currently scored a 14th place. A really good run for Raymond Pittman, who does not usually run this race. Normally, Raymond Pittman sits this one out and maybe 1 or 2 other big ones out, and decided to come out here and run this one. And man, he's having a show right now. Managed to stand the lead lap for most of the race, and then goes down 1 lap at just the right time. Brandon Pierce, Landon Pembleton, Matt Waltz, Timothy are the next cars. All scored 1 lap down. Matt Waltz is on the track. Yeah, Brandon Pierce is on the track. Matt Waltz is on the track. Going to take 1 to go next time by. Normally here we get we take the cone and we go green next time by. Just with the number of cars we've had out here, we've changed the procedure to have 1 extra lap, so we're not re-racking the field in the back half of the field and taking the green up front. Which is why this is taking a little bit longer here.
Yep. Still a lot of cars on the track.
Absolutely.
31 started?
We started with 32 cars.
32.
Sharp. And we're down to, looks like right about 20-ish, 19? 19.
Not bad considering all the carnage that we've seen happen. Some guys being able to return to the track after being involved in incidents. Connor Hall will be in control of the start. Trevor Ward will be on the bottom side.
Danville Toyota pace cars off. Here we go. Connor Hall, Trevor Ward coming to the line. 30 to go here at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Great restart by Connor Hall on the high side. Trevor Ward, though, comes in strong on the inside. They're side by side as they race down the backstretch. 2 and 3 wide all the way back through Landon Pembleton, midway back through the field. Side by side battle for the lead, side by side battle for second, side by side battle for fourth, sixth, and probably eighth as well. Connor Hall leads by 12 thousandths of a second that time by, but it is side by side down the backstretch. Trevor Ward gaining the advantage.
Car looks really good on that bottom side, way below the yellow line, coming up and will possibly, yes, Trevor Ward will lead lap number 172 by .024, 24 thousandths of a second. He'll get up to a door ahead now to see if he can maintain that lead and clear Connor Hall, and he'll clearly lead that lap over Connor Hall, and they're still side by side.
The Tour de France just kicked off in Italy not too long ago. We got, just like at the Tour de France, we got a couple guys leading out there and a whole peloton of people back there trying to get back up there to catch them. The difference is the peloton usually tries to work together for that kind of thing. Absolutely nobody is working together right now on this track. Everyone is basically out for themselves, trying to find a way up to the front, where Trevor Ward and Connor Hall are still battling for the lead. Trevor Ward's got the advantage, and this time looks to clear Connor Hall. Doesn't even bother trying to get all the way up in front. Doesn't really need to. He's running all the way down on the bottom, and that's just working for that gray and red 77.
Beautiful looking car, rotating beautifully on the bottom side and maintaining speed, putting distance on himself and Connor Hall. Third generation racer. His dad raced here for many years at South Boston Speedway, late models all across the Southeast. Was always a tough competitor at the big late model race at Martinsville. Back in those days, it was the Taco Bell 300, way back. Look at that gaggle of cars there.
Connor Hall has started going all the way down to the bottom, following Trevor Ward, where before he was trying to make the high side work. You see him right there. Trevor Ward a little bit loose off there. Connor Hall's now going to go back up to the high side. We see him try to cross over. Nothing quite doing there. But Trevor Ward trying to hold off Connor Hall. Hall to the inside. Ward throws the block on him. Now watch them come through these corners here. There goes Connor Hall all the way down, following that 77. Maybe there's something there for the 22. He's been working for the 77 all night.
We'll see if he can maintain the same speed as Trevor Ward. Connor Hall trying to find a groove that works best for his car, so he knows he's going to have to deal with Trevor Ward over and over. Caden Honeycutt using the high side.
Mitch.
Carter Langley taking a peek on the inside, and they're just in front of Kyle Dudley.
I say, big shout out to Kyle Dudley. Maybe hasn't led the laps he'd hoped to from the pole today, but he has been in the top 5 all night. Barely a mark on that car, and he's just had a really good race tonight with that 14. You know, and right now, for track points, I believe he comes out as the winner.
Well, Trevor gets points.
So Trevor will get points, but I mean, he's going to be right up there. The guys that are racing for season points, though,
yeah,
he's going to get a nice little boost out of this one.
Well, it depends on where
the
26 finishes for sure. Connor Hall, power move on the bottom side, and he'll get past Trevor Ward for leading lap 183. Connor Hall to the point.
Connor Hall, a little bit of trouble off of turn number 2. Carter Langley and Carter Langley and Kyle Dudley get together, and Carter Langley, a little bit of a tap back. It looks like maybe the 4 car, a little bit of a bump there to try to get by. Kyle Dudley, Carter Langley, and up the track goes.
Yeah, that was a calling card right there.
Yep. Now let's see what Kyle Dudley's got to say coming back. You got to get to him first, though, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. It might, the good might be running out here for Kyle Dudley. He has been pushing that thing all night, and again has been hanging in the top 5 without much trouble all night. But a little bit of a kick in the pants there. That's also going to get your rhythm all messed up. You know, a short track like this, there's a lot of rhythm to it, especially with these big, long corners. And you get knocked out of rhythm. It's gonna throw you for a little bit of a loop here. Dudley now trying to pinch down the 23 of Cade Brown. Leaning on each other just a little bit through 1 and 2. They're going to lean a little more on 3 and 4. And Kyle Dudley needs Cade Brown to keep that car down there. The 23 drifts up a little bit. Could be trouble for both of them.
Connor Hall takes control with 13, right at 15 laps to go. 13 to go now. As you see a battle back through the field, Kyle Dudley's dropping back. I figured he would possibly start moving forward since his car seemed to do better on the longer runs, but that's not the case. As we get close to inside of 10 to go, Connor Hall in control.
Dudley's been racing and trying to either pass somebody or hold somebody back almost his whole race. So the tires very well just might be going away on that thing after 180 plus laps of racing hard with everybody else. Back in the field, you see there's Deke McCaskill. He's in 9th. Blake Stallings 10th. Tate Fogelman in 11th. Fogelman to the inside of Stallings that battles for 10th. While out front, it is all Connor Hall. He is running away with this thing with 10 laps to go that time by. 10 laps to go coming by, and it is all Connor Hall. He's over a second ahead of Trevor Ward. Caden Honeycutt currently sitting in 3rd right now. Peyton Sellers a-coming, though.
See the battle on the right side with Tate Fogelman on the bottom side of Blake Stallings. A little bit of contact right in the middle of the back straightaway. They'll keep it pointed in the right direction. Brandon Pierce starting to take a peek. 8 laps to go. Connor Hall in control.
Brandon Pierce 1 lap down right now, currently scored in 15th place. Which again, if he can have 2 good finishes in the other 2 legs of the Virginia Triple Crown, a 15th isn't going to kill you. It's not great, but you can finish 15th and then have 2 really good runs, and that gets that average way down there real fast.
Absolutely.
But he's going to need help throughout the rest of the Triple Crown.
Connor Hall's running for the Triple Crown and the national title.
Big help today if you want to race at a field.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm alluding to. Is next time around will be 5 to go for Connor Hall. See them brake rotors glowing.
Battle for 5th. Cade Brown and Carter Langley going at it hard right now, coming through 3 and 4. Cade Brown to the inside. He's going to get past Carter Langley, it looks like. Langley's going to try to come back on the high side. Nothing really doing there. It's just that 23 has come to life on the bottom of the track, and Brown's been moving his way forward this last part of this run. 4 to go this time by, and Connor Hall is checking out on everybody.
Connor Hall, your 2023 national champion under the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. Nobody in the shot, nobody in the zip code with Connor Hall. Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia. His team is out of Henry County, Virginia, which is the next county over from Halifax, right here where South Boston Speedway is nestled in the south central countryside of Virginia, the Commonwealth. 2 laps to go. Connor Hall. Nelson Motorsports entry. That is a RNS chassis, I do believe. A white flag for Connor Hall out of Halifax, Virginia. Out of Hampton, Virginia, I'm sorry. Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia, dives in 3 and 4. Nobody in contention. Connor Hall with his Nelson Motorsports will win race number 19 on his season under the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series late model stock cars. He is your winner of the 2024 Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia. Connor Hall going over to turn 1 to get that checkered flag and a handshake. A Laurel and hearty handshake. Smoke them if you got them. Nope, no donuts. How about it, folks? Make some noise. Connor Hall, Nelson Motorsports, Henry County race team in Victory Lane here at South Boston Speedway. Make some noise for Connor Hall. Connor Hall, your winner. Trevor Ward out of Winston-Salem finished 2nd. Caden Honeycutt finished 3rd. Peyton Sellers 4th. Cade Brown finished 5th. Carter Langley 6th. Kyle Dudley 7th. Brendan Queen finished 8th. 9th. Deke McCaskill, Blake Stallings rounds out your top 10.
I got you. Tate Tate Fogelman finishes 11th. Stacy Purrier 12th. Raymond Pittman 13th. Brandon Pierce 14th. Matt Waltz 15th. Jessica Can 16th. Timothy Peters 17th. Jason Myers 18th. Landon Pembleton 19th. Mason Bailey 20th. Pretty much everybody from here on out off the track and done. Mike Looney, CM Yarborough, Chase Burrow, Brian Thomas, Bobby McCarty, J.R. Waldrop, Isabella Robusto, Logan Clark, Eric Winslow, Jacob Borst. 30 on back. Jacob Borst with a tough night. Made it about 10 laps into the night. Final couple of cars coming. Oh, I guess not coming through our screen. James Pike, what do you got down there?
I've got Connor Hall and Philip Morris victory lane at South Boston Speedway. A drive for the ages. 22 positions that Connor Hall picked up from 23rd on the starting grid after 200 laps. Trevor Ward coming in to congratulate and share a few words. A hard-fought battle between the two of those. But when Connor Hall made the move to Nelson Motorsports in the offseason, these were the kinds of races that were the goals for this team. It was not just about winning NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series racings. It was not just about winning Car Store races. It was about going after races like the Valley Star Credit Union 300 and the Hampton Heat, and now he has the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. I see Trevor Ward chatting with T-Motor Barry Nelson there, giving him a few congratulations. Barry already has most of the Nelson Motorsports Legion lined up over on the right-hand side. A few congratulations from some of the Usry Meesemer team there. Close ties between a lot of the front runners here in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. And Connor Hall waiting for his opportunity to celebrate his first win in this race. Big smile on his face already. I can tell before he's even gotten out of the car. I have a feeling we're going to see a very big celebration from one of the biggest wins of the year in a year that has been fantastic in every respect for Connor Hall. Getting the Hoosier neckband on and a little bit of help from some of the officials there. And then all of a sudden, we will see him pop out and celebrate. He's also $10,000 richer, by the way. And I have a feeling he may have picked up the Anderson Outdoor Solutions Hard Charger Award, as well as Connor Hall climbs out of the race car. Winner of the 18th Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, and celebrates amidst all the fireworks in the background as he'll lean in. And they'll celebrate over there. And then, as per tradition with Nelson Motorsports, the crew gathers around. They have a prayer after every single victory and every single opportunity they get to victory lane. Lots of celebrations, lots of congratulations. Everybody here on the team trying to celebrate. And Connor, everybody on this crew coming in. Matthew Esselman, congratulations. Connor. 22 spots at a track like this. 32.
I started dead last.
Fair, that's right. All kinds of track position you gained. How?
So we unloaded yesterday, and this is my third time here, and I have always struggled on being just wrecking loose. And I told myself that I was just going to try to, in my terms, be a dump truck all weekend. And this is the best dump truck I've ever driven in my life because it was bad to the bone. But it was awesome. My crew chief, Matthew Eshelman, all the guys, I worked them to death. They nailed it. This is really cool. I've never won a race here. Bobby took me to church one time, but other than that, I've never even been close. And I just, I told Mr. Nelson when I applied for this position that I thought I was the guy that could get the job done for him. And I say it every time, this is the only way I can ever repay him for what he's doing for me. So big shout out to Barry Nelson and his family, everybody on the team, Autos by Nelson, Valley Star Credit Union, Black's Tire, Joe Powell Auction Services, Liquid Performance, Russo's Tinting, DRP Performance Products. I'm getting better. Napa, Castrol, Blue Ridge Color Company, just everybody who makes this thing possible. And Town Bank, big one. They support both programs alongside with me. And like I said, I just got to thank Barry Nelson for the opportunity to drive some really good race cars.
This is a huge moment, obviously, and for everything that has gone into this season, and for as much as this kind of race and winning these kinds of big races was a goal, to have achieved it here and to have this leg of the Triple Crown, what does that mean to you?
Langley's home, obviously, and so I think there's only one or two people who have won the thing multiple times. I think CE and Butterbean. So I'd like to add my name, to the repeat offenders list there. But as far as Martinsville goes, these guys know how to get it done there, so maybe they can bring me up to speed there. But like I said, I just really, really want to thank Barry Nelson, so much for giving me the opportunity to drive his race car. And for anybody else watching, I think I can get it done at the next level. And I just want a shot. And every weekend I get in this thing, I'm going to try to prove it.
What is it with you and this team that's just gelling so well to find all this kind of success? It's hard to stay at this sort of competitive level, not only in these races, but across weekly series races, other late model races, and yet you all continue to find ways to hit victory lane. That's tough to do. What have you noticed that's just different about this year?
I don't really know. There's a little bit different, I guess, from last year to this year, but I guess just really good race cars, a really, really hard-working team. My crew chief is about as detailed-oriented as they come. He'll never let me get too far out in left field because I'm really good at sleeping on some crazy ideas and coming to breakfast with him, and he's a very mellow soul, so he keeps me balanced. But I do want to take a second and thank Trevor Ward. Me and him, good friends. I was joking with him. I said 3 years ago, him and I were sitting in his garage, just begging to get in the top 10 in some of these events. So to be able to sit there and, race it out with probably one of my best friends in the field, super honorable guy, and will always just race you as hard as he can, but as clean as he can. So it's a true honor to race with people like that.
Two drivers who once dreamed of opportunities like these and now have opportunities like these. Another thing that we have to give to Connor Hall, he's going to have to clean off the seat posts and just take his arm there and wipe it off and make sure that he gets his winner sticker on the frame there as a winner of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. Doc and Ken, I think it's a fair question to ask at this point. Who right now can stop Connor Hall?
Oh, the caution flag, that's about it. That's the only thing I've seen that slowed down Connor Hall in 2024. 23 as well. Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia, on fire. His 19th win on the season under the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. He is your defending national champion, and he is leading the national points and will press forward that lead going into next week for sure. This is his second attempt at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. And look at that trophy there you see on your shot there. It's a beautiful trophy. I had one made for me, so I certainly appreciate those guys. So special. I love that thing. But in his second attempt at the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson, comes out a winner. So he is in prime position for the Hampton Heat. He won it in 2019, I think. 2019. And so he's looking forward to that. That's his home track at Hampton. So he is going to be leading the points, leading the way as they go into Hampton for the Hampton Heat 200 coming up in July. All right, we'll be in action again Saturday, July 13th, the Boone race night, presented by Boone Tractor Race. Presented by Billy's AC Service. We'll have the Centera Health Late Model Stocks Twin 65, Budweiser Limited Sportsman 50-lap feature, Southside Disposal Pure Stocks. Let's go down to James Pike.
Trevor Ward, P2. Been quite the year for you, New Day Motorsports. Brandon wins the modified and the track title at Bowman Gray. You win Valley Star. And there were people that wondered whether or not this sort of success would translate in the Triple Crown to the other tracks. And then you come away with a podium here at South Boston tonight. So what do you hope that this run says about you and about your program?
We're no stop, man. No sleep, no stop. We work day and night, me and Corbin at the shop. Got to thank Kevin Powell back at the shop for giving me the opportunity to be able to work there and make a living. And that's kind of what we've been doing the last 2.5 months. But, just focus on the bigger things and plotting this battle we had tonight with Connor Hall. We didn't get the best side of it, but second place, man, I'm fortunate the good Lord blessed me with that. And we got one car put together, all one piece put together right there, and we can make it better. See where we need to make the gains. But I got to thank the good Lord for everything that he's done and blessed me to get to where I'm at. And thank you so much to everybody out there in the fans that was cheering for us.
Was it just long run speed in the final 50 laps of this race? Was there anything else that was a little bit off compared to the 22?
Yeah, just I feel like that last caution, we was pretty good. I feel like we had a good balance, but the cautions here with these new tires, you don't know what you're going to get. So I feel like I pushed the right front off, trying to get track position, get my lead back, and it just wasn't enough to defend him at the end, and that's kind of how he got away. So it was kind of matching each other's stuff. So I feel like I learned a little bit right there, but going into the Triple Crown to beat him at his home track is almost impossible right now. He's got a good average right now for sure. So just to go down there and try to get a good finish and ramp up everything going into Martinsville and try to pull this thing off again would be an awesome opportunity.
Trevor Ward, P2 tonight here in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, and that 77 machine for Ward Performance, New Day Motorsports, a tremendous run from that group. And Caden Honeycutt brought it home in P3 and had a whole bunch of sweat dripping down you after 100 laps. And after 200 laps, you seem a little bit more relaxed and maybe a little bit more energized after all that.
Yeah, a little bit. It's amazing when you actually have a little bit of air coming to your helmet there. But, man, just honestly, I think I screwed us on adjustments. I felt a little free off. I thought just putting tires on it would have fixed it. From the trend we've had with F45s every time we've run this Triple Crown deal, at least that I have. But, first of all, just an amazing race car that we had, no matter what. Thanks to Marcus Richmond, RNS Race Cars, for everything he does for us. Tom Ussery Racing, couldn't be more thankful for him and Tracy. Faithful Heating and Air, Winsight Development, DreamWorks Motorsports, Scott Heating and Air, Charlie Long Racing Engines for letting us do what we do, man. Just we'll come back here, we'll be better, and come back for the Car Series race. So I'm really excited for that. And now that we have a notebook, and we'll be able to build on it and be better.
The Ussery Racing Organization is not the biggest of teams, but to have people like Tom, to have people like Marcus Richmond, to have them believe in you so much to give you this kind of support, what's that feeling like for you, and what does that mean when you step back and look at it?
Yeah, man, I'm thankful, because without that man and Sandy, I wouldn't even be running a late model stock. So thanks to him and Miss Sandy for giving me the opportunity to run this deal. And, we just come here to win races, man. That's all this team's about. We don't care if this is our first time doing this deal as an organization. So we're working on it. We're getting better. And, honestly, it's been the best start that I've had to a season in a while, so in the late model stock. So excited to build on this and come back for the Sobo race in October.
The Ussery Racing Organization continues to show plenty of speed.